This hearing concerns a motion to suppress the evidence that was seized from Mr. Henderson when he was searched by the police. Mr. Henderson was playing basketball in a neighborhood park when Ed Dunsmore's dog, Cyrano, sniffed out some contraband in the defendant's gym bag. Mr. Dunsmore called the police, who acted on the tip, searched the bag, and discovered 2 ounces of marijuana. Mr. Henderson was arrested, and here we all are. Is that about it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Dunsmore, what's up with Cyrano? How does he know what marijuana smells like?
Ma'am, Cyrano was trained to detect drugs hidden in shipments offloaded in Boston Harbor. I got him when he cashed out of the Boston PD, ma'am.
And why were you in the park that day?
I'm a member of the Neighborhood Watch program, and that's where this little scumbag hangs out.
Alleged scumbag, Mr. Dunsmore.
What, ma'am?
Stop calling me ma'am. It makes me feel like the Queen Mother. Judge Gray or Your Honor will do.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the police had no probable cause to search my client's gym bag. There might have been a sandwich in there. I could have gotten his attention, too.
The dog knows the difference between contraband and a sandwich, Your Honor. These are highly trained dogs. This was a good search.
She makes a good point, Mr. Martlett. And neither Mr. Dunsmore nor Cyrano was working for any law enforcement agency at the time, so they weren't subject to constitutional restrictions on search and seizure. Mr. Dunsmore was merely reporting what he believed to be a crime.
May I remind the court that this is a case dispositive motion. Allowing this would be tantamount to dismissal of the charges.
Thanks for the newsflash, counsel. These are murky legal waters. I want counsel to submit your arguments in writing, citing precedents to support your case. Moving on. Donna, your hair.
Do you like it? My stylist thought my hair looked a little lachrymose.
Lachrymose?
It means really sad or inclined.
No, I know what it means. I've just never heard it applied to hair.
Do you like it?
It's nice.
You see, that's his head, and that's his hand. He's sucking his thumb. Do you see it?
Vaguely.
Those are the legs, the feet, and right there, the penis.
You said penis.
Yes, I did.
That's a bad word.
No, not when it's that small.
Isn't he beautiful?
Well, yes, he seems very nice.
Can somebody help me?
Are you retaking the bar?
No, I'm teaching a class at Yale.
You are?
Mommy, Aunt Joan has a picture of her baby. He has a penis.
Let me see.
If that's Aunt Joanne's baby, why is he in Evie's stomach?
Because they're adopting him. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, but why doesn't Evie want him?
Because she thinks we can do a better job taking care of him.
Amy, why on earth are you teaching a class at Yale?
Because they asked me.
There's a handy little 2-letter word you might want to learn.
Mom, it's an honor to be asked. You should be congratulating me.
I'll congratulate you when you learn how to take a nap. Hello?
Let's go.
Yes. I remember him. Well, where's he now? All right, I'm on my way. Off to a flying start. Joe Bouzzard. We meet again.
What's up, Miss Gray? How you doing?
I'm a little testy since I didn't finish my breakfast. The next time you decide to shoplift something, why don't you wait till after lunch?
Okay. Yeah, but only for you.
It's been a long time. Are you 16?
I'm 15.
I trust you put the last 5 years to productive use.
Still in school. Ain't been in jail yet.
Still in foster care?
No, I'm back home with Dad now.
Has he stopped drinking?
Yeah. You know, has trouble working though. He still gets depressed about my mom. You remember about my mom?
Yes, I remember. That was very hard on you.
I'm doing good now though.
Then why have they detained you in a department store? Why did you call me? Why not call your dad?
You were always straight with me back in the day. Look, I messed up, I know. You know, but I'll pay for that aftershave.
That's up to the store.
What, are they gonna call the cops?
I'll talk to the police for you. But if I find out you've been stealing other things, the police will be the least of your worries.
I got a call from one of my moles at HPD. The vice president of the Chamber of Commerce got whacked last night in a carjacking.
My God, what happened?
If I knew that, what the hell would I need you for? All I know is somebody capped him. Now here's the money shot. When the paramedics get there, they think they're treating a female because he's wearing women's clothes.
Wow.
Best part? The guy's a militant homo hater.
That's fun. All right, I'll start with the cops.
What happened is going to be on the radio in 1 hour. Go talk to the grieving widow and ask her about his clothes.
Why would she want to talk to me about that?
Because you are going to sweet talk her into spilling her guts. And then you're going to write it up and you're going to get it to me yesterday. Hey, Diane, get me Zach Benton on the phone. I want to talk to him about his op-ed piece.
You got it.
Let's go, Vincent. We don't have all day.
Ms. Romano suffered a brain injury 5 years ago that left her with the mental capacity of a 12-year-old. As tragic as that accident was, DCF is convinced it rendered her an unfit mother as well.
How so?
The baby, 10 months old, is significantly behind the birth rate growth curve. This clearly constitutes a failure to thrive and justifies the removal of the child from the home.
Is there any father or family?
No husband, no family.
Well, I see Ms. Romano has been evaluated previously as to her mental condition. What brought this to your attention?
We recalled when she brought the baby to the hospital due to a high fever.
So it's due to the weight loss that DCF feels Ms. Romano is challenged beyond her abilities?
Yes, being underweight can be very detrimental to an infant's development. And as the child becomes older, her needs will become increasingly more demanding.
Martina, do you know why you're here?
Some people think I can't take care of Elena. But I can.
May I see Elena? Oh, no, I didn't mean... okay. She's beautiful.
Her name's Elena. She's my daughter.
If it pleases the court...
Save it, Counselor. We're going to go to trial.
Then DCF requests an OTC to evaluate the child's health.
Fine, Miss Richardson. I'm issuing an order of temporary custody for Elena Romano, effective immediately. I want the court physician to examine the child and DCF to evaluate the Romano home before we reconvene,
Tuesday, 10 o'clock.
Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Adjourned.
Why are they taking her? No. 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 Elena.
Marcy Watson?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Vincent Gray. I'm wondering if I could ask you some questions about your husband's death.
Are you with the police?
No, I'm not. I'm with the Hartford Examiner.
I'm sorry, I have nothing to say.
Why was your husband wearing women's clothes when he died?
Did you say your name was Vincent?
Yes, ma'am.
Vincent. Please, leave us alone.
I'm sorry about you.
It looks as if I woke you up, Mr. Broussard. Don't you have to work today?
I worked last night. Is that why you come by, Miss Gray, to be sure that I'm working? Because let me tell you, I'm working my ass off to take care
I'm
of...
here because of Joe.
What's he done? Not that I'm not tickled to see you again.
He was caught shoplifting. I haven't seen him in 5 years, but he had the store call me. Have you any idea why?
Yeah. He knows I'd ground him, take away his damn skateboard. What'd you do to him?
Mr. Broussard, the last time I saw you, you were lying in your own vomit on a gurney in County Hospital.
Hey, I quit drinking.
In the 6 months that he's been back with you, Joe has had trouble at school, and now he's been caught stealing. I need to know what's going on here, and I don't need your attitude.
I don't know. He doesn't talk to me much. Talks to a shrink.
He's seeing a therapist?
Some broad. She's supposed to be an authority on kids whose mothers have killed themselves. Like it's some new fad or something.
Can you give me his therapist's name? I'd like to talk with her.
I don't know. Dr. Kumbaya or something.
Dr. Kubiak?
I guess. you guys pay her. I sure wouldn't.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Greg. What the hell is this?
It's a brief on Bill Watson's murder.
I didn't want a brief. I wanted a quote from the widow.
I didn't get that.
Why not?
I went to the woman's house. I stuck my foot in the door. She was repulsed.
That's good. Now get her to say she's repulsed, and that's worth printing.
I'm not going to torture this woman. Besides, I think there's a better angle on this story than the predictable reaction, she's upset, news at 11.
Oh, you got a better angle. Like what?
Like who he was, what he did with his life.
Maybe someone else saw him in a dress?
I don't know. Maybe. I need to do some research. Just give me one day.
Did you hear that, everybody? Vincent wants another day. Want it by this afternoon.
The use of drug-sniffing dogs has usually been confined to airports or high-stakes drug busts. And recently, the use of these dogs has become more widespread. Now, some regard this as a further intrusion into our ever-shrinking privacy, while others regard them as a big weapon in the war against drugs.
And that's why I paid top dollar for this well-proven weapon, Your Honor.
And I appreciate your commitment to cleaning up your neighborhood, Mr. Dunsmore. I only wish the police had used their own dogs to verify your complaint before they opened the gym bag.
Your Honor, our patrol and apprehension of this scumbag just got one more drug dealer off the street, ma'am.
Were you in the military, Mr. Dunsmore?
No, ma'am, I was not privileged to serve my country as a soldier. I have a bum wheel.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Dunsmore, but while Cyrano may have done a good job, the police did not. This case is dismissed based on the fact that this was an illegal search and seizure.
Well, in a war, there are no rules. You know, you just take out your enemy any way you can. Cyrano! Hey!
You better get your dog out of here or you will find yourself cuffed and jailed.
A man should have the right to protect and defend his own neighborhood. But don't like that! I'm not the bad guy here! Cyrano, come!
It's great. I'm surprised we haven't met. I do a lot of work with DCF.
Your reputation precedes you, Doctor.
You've read my books?
No, but I saw you on the Today Show.
Oh, that was a nice spot. So, what can I do for you?
I'm working with Joe Broussard. I understand that you've been seeing him for a little over a year.
Oh, yes, your office referred him. I specialize in adolescent grief therapy.
Yes. And has Joe made progress in dealing with his mother's suicide?
Yes. Up and down. His mother's death was an abandonment, and in Joe's mind, so was his father's drinking.
Maybe in some way he blames himself for what happened?
Ms. Gray, let me assure you I am very much on top of Joe's issues.
According to Joe's principal, he's been skipping classes, his grades have fallen, and now this shoplifting incident.
Shoplifting is a fairly benign cry for help. He's going to have those incidents.
It's my understanding that Joe was doing well until recently.
Miss Gray, I respect the work you people do. You offer an important service. And though I'm sure it sometimes feels that way, you're not trained to psychoanalyze children. That is better left to the experts.
I didn't mean to encroach on your territory.
It's fine.
Dr. Kubiak, I'm concerned that perhaps Joe's father is drinking again.
There's a confidentiality issue here. But I can say that Joe's acting out would be consistent with a lapse in his father's sobriety.
That'll do it.
You cut all the pertinent details.
The guy was a prominent local politician who strongly opposed gay rights. He was found dead wearing a pink Betsy Johnson stretch frock and Christian Dior lingerie. That's all we need to know.
He was also a medic during the Vietnam War. He was a volunteer fireman. He worked in the literacy campaign.
Pardon me while I yawn.
Don't make him out to be some dope in a dress.
Vincent, I run a newspaper. I print what people want to read.
Cutting this stuff is misleading. Most cross-dressers aren't gay. We can't imply that he was. He was happily married. He was a complicated man. What were you doing during the Vietnam War?
I wasn't painting my nails, I'll tell you that much. All right. And make sure it was a Betsy Johnson.
Oh, I never heard you come in.
Don't talk. Procedural protections for delaying... Got it.
What time is Michael bringing Lauren home?
Soon.
Well, it's awfully late for school night, isn't it?
Yeah. Mom, I really have to get these cards together for my seminar tonight.
This may come as a surprise to you, Amy, but no one's grading you. You don't get extra credit for wearing yourself out.
Hey. I had a hot dog and a pretzel and a hot chocolate.
There's one for your journal.
Did Daddy just drop you off?
No, Alicia. She got a new car, so she likes to drive. It's a B and a W.
Well, That's nice of her. What is that on your ears?
Earrings. We got them pierced.
We did what?
Lisa took me. She got hers pierced when she was 6.
Lauren, I have told you again and again.
I know you said 13, but that's too long.
I am your mother. I make the rules. Lauren, we are going to have a serious talk about this tomorrow, but I have to go out, so Grandma's going to put you to bed. Go wash up. Can you believe that? The woman is putting holes in my daughter's ears. Do I really have to call up Michael and say, hey, Michael, when I send Lauren to you, I pretty much want her back in the same condition?
Take the earrings out, the holes will grow back.
Oh, great. Well, then I'm the bad guy. It's a no-win situation. I can't win.
Amy, your students are waiting. Poor things.
Some legislators believe our kids are growing up a lot more quickly than they used to, and their misbehavior has become more adult, too. Therefore, the juvenile court system has gone from an exclusively rehabilitative system to a system that incorporates both rehabilitation and retribution.
Are there any questions? Guy in the blue sweater.
What are your views on sibling visitation and placement, looking at, for example, In re Hugo in Massachusetts?
Well, I'd really prefer to stick to Connecticut law. I'm much more familiar with...
Are you saying you're not familiar with Hugo?
No. I've heard of it, but you have no idea how much material I have to read. So, let me write that down, and I'll have a better informed answer for you next week. Any other questions? Yeah.
We've been having long discussions in every law class on the new study out of Harvard concerning teenage boys and their changed status in society since World War I. As a family court judge, how does that study affect your court?
Well, very little, since most of the teenage boys I see haven't read the study. I wonder if you could be a little bit more specific as to which aspect of the study you're referring to.
Never mind.
No. Well, we're out of time, so see you next week. We could go for something simple. Stars, moons, pastels.
Too boring.
Peter wants a Western theme, but I don't like the violent imagery.
Nothing wrong with cowboys. I played with toy guns. Look how I turned out.
Actually, you preferred dolls until you were 6.
They were boy dolls.
Returning your microwave.
I gave you that. There's no need to return it.
Donna's got a better one.
We'll take it. Edie could use it. Where is the Princess Evie living these days?
Oh, we got her a modest apartment.
Peter!
It's a tax write-off.
I've already read your article, Vincent.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
Honestly,
Okay, I get the picture.
I knew Bill Watson. He was a nice enough man. Terrible politician. But I always thought that was in his favor. I don't think he deserved that kind of a send-off.
This is a balanced piece. I did a fair amount of research.
Yes, you did a delightful job of describing the dress he died in.
Let me see that.
Well, the fact is he died in a dress.
That Western theme is sounding better, isn't it?
Poor man.
He also served in Vietnam. Why am I telling you this? It's all in there, and I have to fight to get it in.
Nobody cares about anything but the dress.
That's not my fault.
Vincent, you never asked me what I thought of your becoming a journalist. But now that it's come up,
You're gonna tell me.
it's not a noble profession. It was at one time, maybe, but now it's nothing but glorified mudslinging. You're better than that.
You think we should cover up the fact that he died dressed as a woman?
Oh, I love Betsy Johnson.
I'm sure it's someone's job to tell that story. I can't believe it's yours.
Okay. Thank you for the microwave. I hope that Evie enjoys it.
Give it to me. Oh. All I wanted to do was go home and put on my jammies and buy every piece of bad jewelry off the Home Shopping Network.
I tried to tell you.
I got off to a slow start. I won him over.
Do you really need a bunch of self-important law students to validate you?
No. Yeah, maybe.
So I need the odd pat on the back. How does that distinguish me from every other overachiever?
Hi, Judge Gray.
Hi, Donna. Is she starting to look like me?
She's trying.
Some people think they're creepy.
Well, my dad calls them rats with wings.
Well, they may not be very classy, but there's something straightforward about them. As in, hey, you've got bread and an opposable thumb. Tear me off a piece. Joe? I've talked to your dad. I've talked to school, your therapist. Nobody seems to know what's going on with you.
I'm just chilling. You know, doing the school thing, seeing my shrink.
Shoplifting?
I know, that was a one-time deal.
Do you think about your mother a lot?
Yeah. You know, but I try to keep it together for my dad. He still has all our clothes and stuff.
When you lose someone that you've loved and made a life with, the pain lasts for a long time.
One day, Amanda and I were driving around, and I saw my dad alone, just staring down at the road.
Joe, did you say you and Amanda were driving? Do you mean Dr. Kubiak?
Yeah, she drove me home a couple of times after our appointments.
But you said you were driving around.
Did I? Yeah, I meant she was just driving me home.
Why were you and Dr. Kubiak driving around?
You wouldn't understand.
Try me.
Dr. Kubiak and I just have a special friendship.
Elena appears more like a baby of 7 or 8 months. Records indicate she's never had any well baby checks and has never had the proper vaccinations.
Has she had any serious illnesses?
No, but Elena at 2 months was in the 50th percentile in weight for all babies, but now she's dropped to the 5th percentile. That's an alarming deterioration.
Doctor, are there any other findings that corroborated the diagnosis of failure to thrive?
Yes, the baby also suffers from an iron deficiency.
And that is a direct result of the child not being properly fed, is it not?
Absolutely.
That's all, Your Honor.
Dr. Haney, what about the usual things a 10-month-old can do? Sitting up, crawling?
Oh, she's developmentally on schedule. For now.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes, I'd like to call Martina Romano to the stand.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Ms. Romano, you are Elena's mother,
Yes.
and you take care of her yourself?
Yes.
Do you understand Dr. Haney's concern?
He says Elena's too little.
Do you know why she is?
He says I don't feed her enough, but that's just because she got too fat.
Martina, why do you think that?
People would tell me. The lady at the grocery store, she said, you feed that baby too much, she's fat.
And you believed her?
Yes. Also, when we went to the park, a lady said, that's such a big girl. I didn't want anyone to laugh at Elena.
I am so sorry to be late.
Oh, well, we're all allowed a little controlling behavior now and then.
I realize that your time is valuable, so, I had an opportunity to speak with Joe Brizard this morning, and I am disturbed.
How so?
He seems to think that you two have a special relationship.
Well, that's not surprising. It's called transference. We've been working very closely together, and Joseph is badly in need of a mother figure.
I don't think he sees you as his mother.
I'm sorry, I should have explained it more simply. Joe is experiencing deep emotions for me because he feels I truly know him. And for an adolescent boy with no mother, he may have mistaken my interest in him for romantic feelings. That is what you're implying.
Yes. And it makes me wonder if perhaps he should see a male therapist.
At the risk of offending you, Ms. Gray, I have to remind you that you're not qualified to make a decision like that. It's actually important that I don't disappear at this juncture. Joe would experience that as another loss.
That makes sense. It's just that he's come so far.
I'm going to bend the rules a little bit here. I have to tell you that when I met Joe, he had a similar delusion about you.
I beg your pardon?
I checked my records, and he told me that his social worker, that would be you,
Yes?
had expressed an interest in adopting him. You said he was the kind of son you'd always wanted.
I never said that.
Well, that's my point exactly. He's a disturbed boy, which is why I made no formal inquiry.
So I tried to speak up with you.
You're Lauren's mother. Oh, I would know you anywhere, even if I hadn't seen your pictures.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi. I think it was such a healthy idea for us to meet.
Yeah, well, I think we needed to get clear on some things.
Oh, I agree. Waiter, coffee, please. So, Modern Families, huh? The ex-wife and the girlfriend. It's like a mini-series.
Yes.
Listen, before you say anything, I just want to tell you what a fabulous kid I think Lauren is. But I'm always telling Michael Amy must be an incredible person. Michael gives you full credit for the way she's turned out.
Oh, that's nice.
Ladies
Thank you. I will have a fruit salad with low-fat yogurt.
Could I get a grilled cheese on rye? Thanks.
Sure, if you're born with that body. Michael's right. You are stunningly beautiful.
Michael said that?
Thank God I've had therapy, huh?
Well, look, Alicia, we don't really know each other, and the thing is, the only thing we have in common is my ex-husband and my daughter, which means that...
Don't worry. I'm not threatened. Really. I mean, Michael said your marriage was like the Hindenburg, which I guess was a pretty big disaster. Oh, I mean, he respects you and all. Don't get me wrong.
I'm upset because you took Lauren to get her ears pierced.
Really?
Of course, really. I told her she couldn't do that until she was 13.
I had no idea.
Well, I assumed that before you allowed my daughter to have her body permanently altered, that you'd think about consulting me.
I guess that I thought it might create a bond between the two of us.
Well, I'm sure it has, but I'm the mother. I need to be consulted.
Michael thought you might take Lauren's attachment to me very badly.
Well, Michael's wrong. I'm glad she has you in her life. The more people who love her, the better.
Really, Amy?
Yeah. Really, Alicia.
Okay. Maybe I did step over the line. But look, the truth is I'm a part of Lauren's life, like it or not. And I can't call you every time I want to put a curler in her hair.
Well, fine. Curlers you don't have to call. Drilling holes you do. And as far as being a part of her life, that's fine. You're a part. You're not the center. You're not a parent.
I'll pay.
That's okay.
Michael said that you always like to have the last word.
You know, Alicia, you might want to watch how many sentences you begin with Michael said. People might think you didn't have thoughts of your own.
It's all your fault. What did you do? What did you say?
Joe, calm down.
How could you do this? I trusted you.
Let's go somewhere where we can talk.
She says she can't see me anymore. I mean, what's that about? What, did you threaten her?
Dr. Kubiak and I talked. It seemed obvious to both of us that you have an unrealistic idea of the nature of your relationship.
Well, she said that?
Joe, she's your therapist, that's all. Anything else you've imagined is all wrong.
Oh, yeah, it's in my head. I made it all up.
Maybe you've romanticized her.
Look, I am not crazy. She told me she loved me. She said it was real, that it wasn't just about sex.
What do you mean?
It wasn't just sex. That's English, isn't it?
Joe, do you really think you have that kind of relationship with Dr. Kubiak?
She made me swear on my mother's grave that I would burn these. You know, but I didn't do it. Now tell me I imagined it.
Hey, Amy up?
Up and going.
She's gone. I was supposed to go running with her.
Well, I guess she forgot. She's taken on too much work as usual.
I wonder where she got that from. Hey, Mom. Can I talk to you about yesterday?
What?
What she said about my article?
Vincent, please, I'm in the middle of a troubling case, and I honestly can't take a dressing down.
Okay, I'll be brief. Listen, this is my job. I actually like it. I don't think there's anything necessarily ignoble about it. I don't really need your approval, but I'd appreciate if you wouldn't go out of your way to run me down.
Fine. Is that it?
Yeah.
Things change pretty quickly around here. Forgive me if I can't keep up. Seems like yesterday you were a short story writer.
I still am.
Now you're Jimmy Olsen. Peter and Jillian are still dancing attendance on the child who's carrying their child. Amy's disappeared on everybody, including Lauren, who's buddying up with her father's girlfriend. And the man I thought I knew died in a dress. There used to be lines, and you either crossed them or you didn't. Now it's all over the map. Who the hell knows what a moral choice is? Is there such a thing anymore?
This is a rhetorical question.
No, it's not. You're young, you're invested in the future. Tell me, is the civilization intact, or is it just a free-for-all?
I think that most moral choices are simple and personal. You make them every day and they add up. Little things, like admitting when you're wrong.
Judge Gray, I'm sorry.
That's all right, Bruce. Just came in early to work on this Yale thing.
Right. How's that going?
It's a hellish nightmare with a hair stuck to it.
Did you know the day Winston Churchill became Prime Minister of England, his aides woke him up that night to tell him that the Nazis invaded France?
No, I didn't.
I try to remember that when I think I'm having a bad day.
Yeah, perspective. Just what I need. And thanks for reminding me of yet another thing I didn't know.
See you in court.
Excuse me, you can't go in there. It must be very hard to feel that way, and I understand. Miss Gray, what do you think you're doing?
The police would very much like to talk to you, Dr. Kubiak.
About what?
They have a warrant for your arrest.
Katie, wait outside.
All right.
How could you do this? He's just a boy.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I hope that's your lawyer you're calling.
It is, and I hope you're prepared for a protracted lawsuit. Do you have any idea who I am? I am an undisputed expert in the field of child psychology.
And a statutory rapist.
How dare you?
You violated every code of ethics I can think of.
You honestly believe an emotionally disturbed teenager? If so, you're the one who needs help.
I read your letters. I turned them over to the authorities.
This is a colossal misunderstanding.
I couldn't agree more.
While it's true that Ms. Romano's baby is underweight, there are two categories of failure to thrive. One is environmental, where the atmosphere is so stressful that the child can't eat. The other is failure to provide adequate nutrition. It is this second category that brings Ms. Romano into the court. However, Ms. Romano did not underfeed her baby out of neglect. She did so out of concern, a desire to be a good parent. Because of her special circumstances, she is limited in her understanding of how to do that. It's my opinion that with proper guidance, this situation can be remedied. I hereby give custody of Elena back to her mother.
Thank you, Judge Gray. Thank you so much. You're a very good judge.
Now how's that for validation?
It's not bad. Donna?
Judge Gray? Straighten your hair. Don't dress like me.
Okay. That's all. Thank you. There is a line. There's a line.
Joe?
Don't come back here. You got that?
You need to talk to someone. You need help.
Yeah, well, I see how you help.
I understand how you've suffered, but you have to understand I am not the person who betrayed you. Dr. Kubiak...
Don't you talk about her.
She betrayed your trust.
I said don't.
Joe, that's not what love is.
Shut up.
Joe.
Shut up.
What are you doing here?
Babysitting. Amy's teaching, remember?
Oh, yes. Can I fix you something to eat?
No, thanks. I gotta get home.
There's a tuna casserole in the fridge, and it'll only take a minute.
I already ate, thanks.
Well, good night, then.
Good night.
Vincent?
Okay, moving on to...
Excuse me. I asked last week about In re Hugo. You said you'd do some research so we could discuss it.
I'm sorry. I couldn't find the time.
With all due respect, I was promised an overall view of family law, not just what you happen to be familiar with.
And you are?
Eric Mullins.
Mr. Mullins, I didn't get around to your precious In re Hugo because I've presided over 150 cases this week. And when I do get to it, that kind of work will be done by some lowly clerk who most likely will be some contumacious parvenu like yourself.
What does that mean?
Do some research on it and get back to us next week. Any other questions? If the American judicial system were a restaurant, then family court would be a table by the kitchen. Hardly anybody wants to sit there, but let me assure you that nowhere are the stakes higher. For example, you wear the robe for this one, Mr. Mullins. An adopted 30-year-old woman has located her birth mother and wants to talk to her, citing her right to know her heritage. The mother has no desire to reunite and argues that the state promised her anonymity for life. What do you do?
I do a search through case law to find rulings in similar cases.
Well, you don't have time for that. You've got 30 cases that day, and the presiding judge considers your docket light already.
Then I make a lowly clerk do it.
And what are you doing? Showing slides from your last vacation? You're hungry. You missed lunch because of a judicial pretrial. The parties are getting restless. People are impatient. The lawyers are screaming. The babies are crying. What do you do, Mr. Mullins?
You're the judge. What?
I carry it over till next week. It's getting a little hectic in there for me. I mean, you laugh, but that is an accurate picture, and the case is real. People think that the law will fit neatly into any scenario brought into court, but it seldom does. A fair decision requires interpretation, the influence of similar precedents, and gut instinct. Then imagine that you hear 60 cases a day, one every 8 minutes. And you can imagine what a juvenile and family law judge is up against.
8 minutes? We only had 3 cases on our last exam and we had 2 hours?
Then enjoy your time here. And when you leave, come out with guns blazing. It's going to be about 20 years before you have time for a decent nap. The law is a living thing. It evolves every day, every minute. It changes so quickly that most of the rulings you've memorized will be obsolete before you pass the bar. But here's the one thing that doesn't change. Family. And while our definition of what family is changes all the time, the family remains the cornerstone of civilization. It always has been. So, who among you is gonna follow me into family law? Not many. Only the best.
Hey, this is Vincent. Leave me a message.
Vincent, I was wrong.
Love you too, Mom.
Damn it. All right, it's your choice. It's going to be a long day. Nobody's going to be here to let you out.
Oh. Mom, it's time, okay? Please get the roof fixed.
My backpack got rain on. My book report's all smudgy now.
Well, a little water never hurt anyone. Here, give me those. You want a cinnamon roll?
This is ridiculous. It's getting worse. The rug upstairs still smells like wet dog from the last time it rained.
It's supposed to clear up this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Experience tells me that it will rain again.
It doesn't really bother me. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I'm sure you've got more important things to worry about. I know I do.
Look, Mommy, puddles.
This is a petition filed by Eric Capano, seeking legal guardianship of his stepdaughter Carolyn Brody following the death of her mother. Is Carolyn's father present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
My client is Carolyn's biological father, Your Honor, Paul Brody.
And my client, Eric Capano, is her de facto father.
Mr. Capano is Carolyn's stepfather.
Who's raised Carolyn since she was a year and a half.
Carolyn is now 7.
He hasn't seen her since she was 3.
Mr. Brody's maintained contact with his daughter since the day he and her mother separated.
Some contact, letters and phone
He
calls.
sends her gifts at Christmas and birthdays.
Counsel, let's stick to the pertinent facts, shall we? Carolyn's mother passed away 6 weeks ago, and you're petitioning for full custody, Mr. Capano.
Yes, Your Honor.
Eric Capano and Carolyn are extremely close and bonded. He's her soccer coach, takes her to dance classes, he tucks her in at night. He's a very active and supportive parent. He's her de facto dad.
As you've said.
Paul Brody is her real dad, and as such has parental rights. There's certainly no question, at least in the eyes of the law, Carolyn should be with her father.
Well, it's tough to be a father from a distance.
Why has there been so little visitation, Mr. Lassiter, if your client lives an hour away?
Until recently, Mr. Brody couldn't.
He couldn't?
He's afraid of getting cooties.
Mr. Brody has OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and his particular obsession is with germs. That limited his interaction with his daughter.
And this has changed?
Mr. Brody's psychiatrist can testify as to his readiness to accept the responsibility of raising his daughter.
With sympathies for Mr. Brody's condition, he has been an absentee dad, and it's a little late to step in now.
I'd like to hear from both fathers. And Mr. Brody's psychiatrist. I'm also appointing a child psychologist to conduct a family interaction study to assess the degree of bonding between Carolyn and her stepfather. Court is recessed until after lunch.
Now, baby, listen to me. Kevin, do not jump.
It's okay. I have a parachute.
No, Kevin, that's not a parachute. That's a sheet and a clothesline. Kevin, I mean it. Come down here right now.
Okay, here I come.
Wait, hold it.
What now?
Well, if you're going to do this, you may as well do it right. Maxine.
What do you mean, do it right?
Back up so you can get a good start. Just back up so you can clear the stairs here. Back up, honey.
I got you. Come here, you. Now do you see what? We need a vacation.
It so happens I was at your sister's this morning.
And?
And I have absolutely no reservation in recommending her as a temporary caregiver for Kevin.
Oh, Maxine! Thank you! Not that we don't adore Kevin, which we do. But,
Well, even foster parents deserve a little break on their 20th wedding anniversary. You and Mitch have done a wonderful job.
So? Well, it's all set. Week in Orlando.
They're not going to suspend our pay, are they? Because we promised to compensate expenses for Laura's sister.
No, I'll take care of your paperwork. You just enjoy your vacation. You stay off the roof.
Come here, you.
Mr. Brody, Paul, when did you first realize you had OCD?
Well, I didn't even realize I had a name until soon after Christine and I, that's Carolyn's mother, and I were divorced.
For those of us who can't understand what it's like living with OCD, could you share a little with us?
Well, someone once described it as mosquitoes of the mind. I mean, it's like an itch that won't go away, like the one you're not supposed to scratch, but you can't stop. I mean, it's torture.
And how did it start?
With a handshake.
A handshake?
Without warning, one day, bam, my life just changed. I mean, I was at work. After shaking hands with a client, I suddenly had this uncontrollable urge to wash them, and that wasn't enough. It was as if I had to sterilize them. I mean, there was something in my brain saying that they're dirty, they're filthy. Wash them again, which I did about 20 times until I almost rubbed them raw. At one point, I was spending about 11 hours a day showering and cleaning. I mean, I couldn't function in the real world anymore. I had to quit my job.
And how are you today, after working with Dr. Grayson?
Well, I mean, I shower once a day. I mean, sometimes twice, but I mean, that's it.
Despite the physical separation, you never lost contact with your daughter, did you?
No, I didn't. I mean, I kept up with her teachers. I spoke to her pediatrician after every visit. I mean, I saw every dance recital on tape. I mean, I never stopped loving her. I never stopped being her father. I mean, I just missed touching her and stroking her hair and hugging her. But I couldn't. Look, Eric, I am so grateful to you for what you've done. I mean, you did for Carolyn what I only wish I could have done for her. But now I'm ready. I have overcome so much pain and frustration. And now I want to be able to tuck my daughter into bed for the first time and tell her that I love her. Not over the phone.
Well, first we have to make the sauce, then cook the noodles.
Damn!
Socrates, no.
Don't let him into the den. He's gonna get mud all over the carpet.
This house is a disaster.
Well, I keep telling Mom to fix the roof, but she ignores me.
A new paint job wouldn't be such a bad idea.
What is up with Mom?
I guess Dad handled all the house stuff.
Well, you know, this is totally unacceptable. I mean, you can't just let a house go like this. I'll talk to her.
Maybe she doesn't have the money.
She has the money. Look, Dad left her a decent nest egg. It's not a lot, but it's certainly enough to fix the roof.
She's always scrimped on herself. Remember how hard it was for her to buy a new car?
Maybe she's afraid. I mean, how much longer is she really going to be able to work?
I really don't think that's the issue.
Dad's insurance money is enough for any of her needs. I'll just have to talk to her.
Once again, maybe she doesn't have the money.
She has the money.
No, actually she doesn't. Not that much, at least.
What are you talking about?
Remember when Mom was spending all that time on the internet? She wasn't just visiting chat rooms. She was dabbling in the stock market. She lost a fair amount.
Oh, for crying out loud.
What?
How do you know?
She told me.
Mom was day trading?
Yep.
Oh, she couldn't possibly be that stupid.
Apparently she is. Thank you, Vincent.
Mom, I'm sorry.
I had planned not to involve any of you in my personal financial affairs, since they're none of your business. But now that you know, I'll reiterate. It's none of your business. Now, if you'll excuse me, don't set a place for me at supper. I'm not very hungry.
Mother, well, why didn't you tell me? I've been handling your finances since Dad died.
You haven't been handling anything. And I didn't tell you because I didn't want you losing sleep.
But you told Vincent. Vincent, who doesn't know anything about money, who barely has a checking account in his own name. He doesn't know the first thing about investment or money management. How could he help you?
He couldn't. That's why I told him. I needed empathy. I don't need help.
You don't? Mom, the whole house is falling apart and maybe the only significant asset you have left.
I can always use my retirement fund for emergencies.
Oh, forget it. You're not 62. You'll incur huge penalties. It makes no sense. You won't have anything else to live on.
Peter, stop it.
No, Mother, this is serious. What are you going to do?
Stop talking. I'm a grown-up woman with all of my faculties and most of my teeth, and I am not yet at the stage where I need to be taken care of by my offspring. End of discussion.
All rise.
Morning. Let's get started, shall we?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. We're going to have to wait. The court reporter needed to step away for a minute.
Sally?
No, a substitute, Ian Jankowski.
No!
Well, where is he?
The bathroom. He said it was an emergency.
Okay, well, how long can it take?
Judge Gray, Ian Jankowski is the worst. Everyone hates him.
I see.
Such a diva.
Thank you, Donna.
He tried to run me over in the parking lot.
Thank you,
once.
Donna.
Sorry, Your Honor. My apologies to the court.
Feeling all right, Mr. Jankowski?
Irritable bowel syndrome. I have no control.
I'm sorry.
You're such a liar. Yeah. See you in the parking lot.
Mr. Mayhern, you're representing DCF?
That's correct, Your Honor. We're seeking to continue an order of temporary custody for Goran Filipovich.
And Ms. Brock, you're the DCF caseworker?
That's right, Your Honor. Mr. and Mrs. Filipovich immigrated to the United States from Croatia almost a year ago with their 9-year-old son, Goran.
Is that Goran? Color me stupid.
However you spell it is fine, Mr. Jankowski. So when did DCF remove Goran from his parents' home?
10 days ago, right after we were notified the family was being evicted from the transition shelter where they were residing.
You're telling me this family was forced onto the streets almost 2 weeks ago and you've yet to find suitable housing for them?
No, Your Honor. We found housing, but Mr. Filipovich has adamantly refused to sign any paperwork or fill out the necessary documents.
Mr. Filipovich, can you explain why you're unwilling to cooperate with DCF?
Please, we would like our son, Goran. We will get home. Good home.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Filipovich. I'm sure we all want that as well. Mrs. Filipovich, do you and your husband have anyone to represent you? Attorney? A lawyer?
Your Honor, if I may.
Please.
Mr. and Mrs. Filipovich have refused to fill out the financial affidavits necessary for appointment of counsel.
Did they say why?
Yes. At least I think they did.
You think they did?
We tried, Your Honor, but the only Croatian interpreter we could locate isn't available until tomorrow.
Well, then I'd like to see everyone back here tomorrow, 10 a.m., with an interpreter. This language barrier is keeping this family apart. Let's make sure there's someone here to represent the Filipoviches.
Excuse me, Mr. Bellamy.
Is it about gas allowances?
No,
Is it about lunch allowances?
No, it's about a
It's
foster...
about parking.
No.
Well, what is it then?
I have a foster family, Laura and Mitch Evans, in need of respite. I found another family eager and qualified to take the foster child for 1 week.
Fabulous.
So can they simply take the money we pay them and give it to the second family, or do we have to go through some hellish rigmarole?
Well, you can't just have people swapping children and handfuls of taxpayers' cash.
Hellish rigmarole it is.
Name?
Maxine Gray.
Not you, the foster parents.
Laura and Mitch Evans.
Which child?
There's only one child.
I show 3. Jennifer Hollier, Kevin Deacon, James Forsythe.
Your computer's wrong. Jennifer Hollier aged out of the system, and James Forsythe, if I recall correctly, was reunited with his grandparents.
We are paying the Evanses $1,800 per month, and $600 for each child. I'm quite good at math, Miss Gray. That adds up to 3 children. That would be a discrepancy. You'd better find out why.
Why me?
Timeless question, Miss Gray. A timeless question.
Christine and I were married over 5 years.
And in those 5 years, how many times did Mr. Brody visit Carolyn? Or Carolyn stay with Mr. Brody?
Carolyn never stayed with Paul. That would have been too much for him.
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
I'll allow it. I want to hear Mr. Capano's answer.
As I've come to understand OCD, Paul was unable to hold Carolyn after she was born because she was unclean. He couldn't change her diaper. He couldn't bathe her. And if he did accidentally touch her, he had to wash himself over and over. Christine said that was one of the rituals that he went through.
Your Honor. Mr. Capano, please keep your comments regarding Mr. Brody to those you have witnessed or experienced firsthand.
Tell us what your relationship with Carolyn has been like.
We've lived under the same roof since Carolyn began to talk. I read her bedtime stories. I took her to Toy Story, her first movie.
And what does Carolyn call you?
She always calls me Dad. That was her choice. But she also calls Paul Dad. And Christine and I never discourage that. When she asks me about him, why she can't see him, I try to explain.
Mr. Capano, why is it that you seek guardianship of Carolyn?
With Carolyn's mother gone, I realized the court usually awards custody to the biological father. But Carolyn's my daughter. I believe that she considers my home to be her home. It's the only home she knows. It's where I've helped her with her homework. It's where I've had to send her to her room. It's where It's where she has memories of her mother. I want to be there when her heart gets broken for the first time. When she graduates from high school, when she gets married. I've lost my wife. Please. Please don't take my daughter.
Is that why you were so quiet in the car?
Yeah, smart people are supposed to like foreign films.
I just don't think Hungarians should attempt comedy.
It was a comedy?
Not if you have to ask. So you want to stay?
Yeah, I do. But I don't think I can.
I have been tested, and my sheets are clean.
It's not that. Ever since the attack, everything makes me nervous, and I don't want to be nervous about this.
Okay. We'll wait.
It just makes me feel so vulnerable, and it's hard to explain.
You don't have to explain. If you're uncomfortable, so am I. We have plenty of time. Whenever you're ready, I'm here. And if I'm not here, I have a beeper.
$12,000.
That's what the roof guy estimated. It includes gutters and screens. And God knows what else he found. I left before he was finished.
Well, she can't use her retirement money. That'd leave her totally vulnerable. Frankly, Jillian and I aren't in a position right now to help her out.
I know. And Vincent?
He's hopeless. Still paying off college loans. Basically, you're the only one with money, Amy.
I don't have any money. I'm fighting Michael for more child support. Why do you think I live at home?
Speaking of that, how do you and Mom divide up the house expenses?
What do you mean?
Do you pay rent? Utilities? Groceries?
Yeah, well, I buy groceries occasionally. Mom invited me to live with her. She didn't ask for any money.
Of course she didn't. But I imagine adding you and Lauren to the household has increased her monthly expenses considerably.
Maybe a little. How much can it be? The house is paid off, isn't it?
No, Dad had to take out a second mortgage in the early 80s. Amy.
Fine, I'll start paying rent. What?
I have to say, I'm amazed the thought didn't cross your mind before this.
Well, I never thought this would be a long-term arrangement. Don't shrug at me, okay? I am not your stupid little sister. If I blew it by not paying rent, then I will make it up with Mom, but I don't need you wagging your finger at me.
You're 35 years old, Amy. I just expected more from you.
Really?
Oh, you are the one that went to Harvard, after all.
That's nice. Hey, Peter, I just got one question for you. What happened to you?
Nothing's happened to me.
Yeah, it has. God, Peter, when we were growing up, you were the cool one. You were the guy in the band. You were the guy who could ditch all your classes and still make straight A's. You were working to legalize marijuana. What happened to that guy? When did you become this guy?
Dad died, and I grew up. Someone had to.
Sex is complicated.
It wasn't complicated in high school.
How much sex were you having in high school?
Well, I had to be advanced in some subject.
She obviously wants to be with you. Give her some time. She's scared.
How do I back off without making her feel like I don't care? Because I do care. Do I bring it up again? Do I let her bring it up? I don't want to mess this up.
Here's a new idea. Why don't you tell her how you feel?
What, let down my whole gender?
You love her?
I don't know. What? I'm standing here with a mocha latte talking to my sister about love. My sperm count is plummeting.
You love her.
Shut up. I gotta run.
Vojna policija je odvela Anku, našu kćerku.
The military police took our daughter
Rekli su da je
Anka.
neće ništa.
They told us they wouldn't hurt her.
Samo ako ja potpišem dokumente.
But if I signed the documents that they gave me,
Excuse me, am I supposed to record the Croatian or whatever? This is all very confusing.
Just the translation will do. Carry on.
Ti dokumenti sa mojim potpisom dali bi moju kuću,
if I signed these documents,
moj
I
posao,
knew I
sve
was
što ja imam.
relinquishing my house, my business, everything I owned.
Ali Anka bi nam bila vraćena.
But our daughter
Ja
Anka
sam
would be
potpisao.
returned to us, so I signed their documents.
Čekali smo tjednima.
We waited for weeks,
Naša lijepa Anka nije nam vraćena.
but our beautiful Anka was not returned to us.
Sve dok je nisu bili silovali.
Not until she had been raped.
Sve dok je nisu
Not
ubili.
until she had been murdered.
I sad su ovi odveli mog sina i rekli da će ga vratiti ako im potpišem dokumente.
Now these people have taken our son, and they tell us that he will only be returned if we sign their documents.
Smiri se. Biće sve u redu.
Oprostite, nisam ja htio nikog vrijeđati.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I mean no
Sam je
disrespect.
naše dijete. A Goran, vi griješite što
But
ga
Goran is
štitite
our
od nas.
son, and it is wrong for you to keep him from us.
Thank you, Mr. Filipovich. Mr. Mayhern, were either you or Ms. Brock familiar with the information that Mr. Filipovich just shared with us?
No, Your Honor.
Well, given what we've just heard, their reluctance to sign various financial aid and housing forms is certainly understandable.
Your Honor, our primary concern right now is Goran. He cannot live in the streets. He needs a home. He needs someone who can provide for him.
Then I think DCF should find housing for the Filipoviches.
But, Your Honor...
But nothing! I cannot believe we are going to let the lack of a simple signature keep this family apart.
Your Honor, someone has to sign.
Fine. How about DCF? How about social services?
Your Honor, even if we secure an apartment for this month, what about the next? The Filipoviches could very well still end up homeless, and we'll all be right back here again. The child needs consistency.
During this past year, this young man has lost his sister and his home. He left all his friends and he came to a new country. Throughout all of this, the one thing that was consistent was the presence of his parents. Ms. Clark, I'd like to see a signed copy of a rental agreement before the end of the day.
Of course, Your Honor.
Today? Yeah, today, Ms. Brock. It's Friday. I'd like to see Goran home for the weekend. Emma. I was going to eat lunch, but then I thought about it, and I decided all I really wanted was chocolate cake. Sounds good to me. Get your own. I can't have a bite. I'd rather you didn't. Okay. Mom, if you needed money, all you had to do is ask.
Amy, I don't want to have this discussion again. All I want right now is to eat cake.
Fine. How much did you lose?
$27,000 and change.
Oh, Ma.
There was a day or two there when I thought I was really onto something.
I bet. Ma, I want to start paying rent. Don't say no. This was supposed to be a temporary arrangement, and I think it's going to be more long term.
All right. All right. What? All right, you're paying rent.
How long have you wanted to ask me for money?
Since you were 19.
I am an adult, Mom. I can handle this.
The most crippling obsessions create absurd, embarrassing, or frightening thoughts that repeat in the mind in an endless loop. The sufferer engages in compulsive rituals that relieve these obsessive thoughts. This interferes with the victim's normal functioning, and his work and home life disintegrate.
And just how rare is OCD, Doctor?
Oh, it's not rare at all. At least 4 million people in the United States suffer from it.
But it is treatable, is it not?
Oh, yes, with medication or through behavior therapy.
Dr. Grayson, where's Mr. Brody in terms of treatment and recovery?
Paul Brody is ready and capable of being a father in the truest sense of the word. He has a home-based job working with an internet company. He makes a good living. He is fully aware of his OCD, and he is ready to take on the added responsibility of raising his daughter.
All right. This can be fixed. Go to Bellamy. Tell him you were wrong, that there are 3 kids at the Evanses.
Are you telling me to lie to Mr. Bellamy?
Maxine, if there's one person on this planet worth lying to, it's Bellamy.
Susie, this is fraud.
Oh, Maxine, please. The Evanses have helped us out I don't know how many times. Emergency overnights, difficult placements. It's hard to find good foster families, Maxine. Do you remember the time they took triplets without any notice?
Do you remember the caseworker on the triplets?
Then you know from personal experience that the Evanses are the kind of people who, if they get a little extra money, it's on the side of the angels. Let's not screw them around, okay?
My other dad said he wants me to come live with him, but I don't even know where he lives.
When was the last time you saw your other dad?
He sends me pictures.
When was the last time you saw him in person? Do you remember?
No.
Would you like to see him now? He's right outside. He'd like to see you. If that's okay.
He's here. He's really...
Yeah?
Really?
Would you like to see him?
Yes, please.
Carolyn?
Daddy?
Oh, you're so big. You're so pretty. God, you're even prettier than the picture you sent me last month.
Daddy,
Yeah.
can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
And Mr. Brody, do you need to wear those gloves?
No, Your Honor. I love you, Carolyn. You know that, right?
Yeah, Daddy.
Carolyn.
I know, Dad. I know. Don't worry, Dad.
Let it slide.
Well, the best advice I've gotten today, Mr. Bellamy, was to lie to you because you would be unable to see the bigger picture.
Really? How's this for the bigger picture? A list of the foster parents and their charges. And the payout schedule. Let me save you 4.5 hours of line-by-line scrutiny. There's a discrepancy of $15,000. That's evidence of fraud, Ms. Gray.
The foster family told me they pay back the surplus.
Well, if they do, I'm not showing any of those monies.
They said they make the checks out to DCF.
Great. So somebody registers a numbered company, calls it DCF, and cashes the checks for themselves.
Could we find out if anyone did that?
We can, if it's registered in Connecticut.
Paul Brody is Carolyn's biological father. Eric Capano has raised her essentially since the age of 1.5. While this court is convinced that both men could meet Carolyn's basic medical and financial needs, Connecticut statute gives preference to biological parents in custody disputes. That being said, while the court respects your efforts to overcome your OCD, Mr. Brody, I am not at all convinced that you are ready to assume the responsibilities of parenting. Kids get dirty. They have germs. It comes with the territory. And sometimes what a skinned knee needs most is a kiss. Therefore, I'm going to grant Mr. Capano's petition and award him guardianship of Carolyn. But because I feel it is important for her to reconnect with her biological father, I am going to schedule a regular series of visitations by Mr. Brody to be determined after both parties confer with Mr. Brody's psychiatrist and the psychologist who conducted the family evaluation survey. That's all.
I'm giving you a choice, Susie. Either you can resign or I can take this upstairs.
You want me to quit because some very good, very hard-working foster parents made not a little extra money?
I want you to resign because you stole money from children.
I did it for children. I did it for foster parents. Gaps in payment, bureaucratic slowdowns. Good people were paying for mistakes we were making. It wasn't working, so I made it work. I am not sorry for that.
The system isn't perfect. I've known that a lot longer than you. But it doesn't give us permission to go into business for ourselves.
Do you know how much I got? Couple thousand, give or take.
Seems very short-sighted to destroy your career for $2,000.
I'm management, Maxine. My salary was frozen last year. You make more money than I do.
Life's unfair, Susie.
I'm still paying off student loans. Most days, I go without lunch so that I can afford daycare for my daughter. I take a bus to work.
I know what it's like to need money. But it doesn't give me a license to steal it.
You've been out to get me from the beginning.
Wrong. I didn't know you in the beginning. But it became clear early on that you put yourself first. You talk a good game. It seems like you care about children. But it's really all about you.
Who do you think the people upstairs will believe, Maxine? It's money they owe me. Out-of-pocket expenses, I can back it up. And the bosses like me, Maxine. They like me because I know how to be pragmatic. I know how to make this place work, despite this stupid system.
It's 5 o'clock. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna get that little boy home with his parents for the weekend.
Then we stay.
Mr. Jankowski, it looks like we're going to be staying a little bit later this evening.
Sorry, Your Honor, but it's 5, and I'm afraid I've made other plans.
Then you'll probably want to cancel them.
That is not possible.
Sit down, Mr. Jankowski.
Union rules. Take it up with my supervisor.
What the hell is the matter with you? These people have endured wars. They've seen members of their families tortured and killed. Now they're in a strange country in danger of losing their son. I don't care about your plans or your union. Sit down, Mr. Jankowski.
Judge Gray, I'm sorry we're late.
Do you have release? Back on the record, please. I have before me the signed lease confirming that the Filipoviches have an apartment through the end of the month. Ms. Brock?
Yes, Your Honor?
Does DCF approve of the apartment?
Yes, but I'm still concerned we're all going to be right back here again next month.
Noted. Ms. Clark, I am dissolving the OTC. Mr. and Mrs. Filipovich, you may take your son home.
Možete povesti Gorana.
Thank you.
Did you eat my kumquats?
Not on purpose.
Hiding behind the wheatgrass.
Hey, I was gonna meet you at the restaurant.
We need to talk.
Okay.
We should have sex. Okay. I'm leaving. Donna, I didn't see you there. Because I'm not here.
You were saying?
I want to get it over with.
Oh.
I have no idea when these fears are going to go away or if they're ever going to go away. And maybe it has nothing to do with the attack. I mean, maybe it's just nerves, normal nerves. So maybe the best thing to do is to just close my eyes and take a breath and jump.
Wow.
What?
Now I'm scared.
Really?
No, not really.
He just had to gloat, huh, Maxine? Well, this is not over. I am innocent.
You should have called me before you called the police.
Why? She stole money. She broke the law.
This is a DCF problem, Maxine. We could have handled this cleanly and quickly without involving the police. Now it's going to be a noisy, god-awful mess.
I'm sorry, Jim. I really am. But Miss Nixon suggested to me that she had nothing to fear inside this department.
And you believed her?
I had to make sure.
You got one set of brass balls, lady.
Hey,
Hey.
Jillian said you were up here.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Taxes. This probably sounds boring and stodgy to you, but I like to get a jump on them before things get really crazy.
No, it sounds good. I wish I were that organized. I just came up to tell you I talked to Mom about the roof. She's gonna let me pay for it.
Really? The whole thing?
Yeah, I sold some stock. Figured I owed her.
Okay. Well, we don't need to worry about that anymore.
You were right. You know, I should have been chipping in. I just thought. I guess I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So, did you really think I was the cool one?
Yeah, are you kidding? You're the coolest. All my girlfriends had crushes on you.
They did? I don't remember that.
That's why you were cool. Totally oblivious. Doing your own thing. The band. Your music.
Man, I haven't thought about that band for years.
The Replicants. Pete, A.O., Little Dougie. I still got the t-shirt.
I was born and crossed by a hurricane. I howled it out to my mom in the driving rain. Well, it's alright. Now, in fact, it's a gas. Well, it's alright. And jumping jack flash, it's a gas, gas, gas. Jumping jack flash, it's a gas.
Jumping Jack Flash, it's the gas. Jumping Jack Flash, it's the gas. Jumping Jack Flash, it's the gas. Jumping Jack Flash. Thank you, and good night.
I can't go for that.
Why not? It's better than detention.
I'll say it's like setting the kid free on a tropical island.
Mr. Dobson, if I allow for the transference of supervision to Puerto Rico, there's no way to enforce the conditions of probation.
Exactly. He'll be out of the system and wreaking havoc.
He's a 13-year-old boy.
A 13-year-old boy who had in his possession 3 grams of cocaine and $120 in cash.
A 13-year-old boy who deserves a few years on Long Lane.
Geez, I thought the whole idea of an informal discussion was to compromise.
Mr. Dobson, you were the one moving for a pretrial probation. Give Mr. Carr a reason to play ball.
His aunt and uncle are a stable working couple that live 50 miles from the nearest city. His mother's prepared to relocate there with him.
His mother's willing to quit her job.
Job, apartment, boyfriend, she's willing to give it all up.
Well, that's a significant commitment.
I want confirmation of the address.
No problem.
A one-way ticket.
Done.
Proof that the boy is enrolled in a school.
Catholic school, very traditional, quasi-medieval.
Are we done?
Not quite.
Jeez, just slit my wrist.
Mr. Caro.
I want the boy to get one of your rants.
My what?
One of your lectures, I mean. They make an impression.
Are you making fun of me, Miss Caro?
Your Honor, I am not. You have a certain hectoring tone in your voice when you really get going that registers with these kids.
I'll see what I can do. If the spirit moves me. We're gonna go back on the record. Let the record show that both parties have come to an agreement. The respondent will relocate to Puerto Rico. Mr. Rivera, would you step forward, please? I can only hope that you appreciate the great lengths that your family and Mr. Dobson and the Assistant State Attorney have gone to help you pull together a real life.
Yes, Your Honor.
When your mother moved here from Puerto Rico, she did it because she wanted a better future for you. And instead, what she got was a son who spat on every value she holds dear because he decided to sell drugs. You dashed your mother's hope for a new start in the land of opportunity. Her chance at a new life was ruined because you disgraced her. You must make it up to her, Mr. Rivera, if it takes you the rest of your life.
Mama, siento. Sorry. So sorry.
Cálmate.
Te amo.
Are you worried for the safety of your children?
No. He's a good father.
How many children do you have?
2 boys, 6 and 9.
Mrs. DeBello, you're going to have to tell me how I can help you.
I made a mistake. We had a fight, and I told them that I might leave and take the boys with me, which I would never do.
Did your husband threaten you?
He loves us. They're his sons.
Did he strike you?
Not this time. Not in a while, but things are getting bad at work, and that makes him crazy. He says such terrible things to us, and I'm afraid.
Can you move out? Is there a relative or friend you could stay with?
Not really.
Are you afraid of retribution if you leave? Afraid that your husband might come after you?
I know he would.
There are shelters, Mrs. Del Bello. There are programs for women at risk.
He can't know. I came to you. If you could do it, so maybe he thought it was a neighbor or the school. You must have anonymous tips. Could you do that?
Mrs. Del Bello, if your husband has threatened you before or hurt you, we can involve the police.
He'd kill me, Miss Gray. Please, will you try?
Yes. All right. I'll try to find a way to approach him without involving you.
God bless you. You're a wonderful person.
Hey, I missed you in court this morning.
I had to clear tomorrow's docket.
Tell me it's because I have tomorrow off.
Well, you're going on a trip.
A trip to where?
Marston.
Marston?
It's a hearing on the motion to modify custody order regarding a 12-year-old boy who was taken from his mother when she was put in rehab.
And now she wants him back.
The boy was put on Ritalin. She's challenging the diagnosis.
Doesn't Judge Brinkman cover Marston?
Judge Brinkman sees the same psychiatrist as the boy, so he recused himself.
Is this because I'm a new judge?
It's your turn, Judge Gray. Fair and square.
So you going with me?
That's up to you.
What do you think?
I'll drive.
She's having all of those weird cravings. Chocolates, SpaghettiOs, ding-dongs. Evie's getting really big.
Pregnant women get big. That's a baby in there, not ding-dongs.
Well, it's a big baby.
Maybe you're pregnant too, Mommy. You like SpaghettiOs.
I'm not pregnant, Lauren.
How do you know?
I know. Eat your pie.
Your mother can't be pregnant. She doesn't even have a husband.
Evie doesn't have a husband. How did she get pregnant?
You want to take that, Peter?
The dinner table is not an appropriate venue for this discussion.
Are you pregnant?
No. Eat your pie.
Because I want to have a baby brother.
Hey, Mom, can you pick up Lauren after school tomorrow? Vincent's on a deadline. I'm working out of town. I might be late.
No, I can't. I have a situation at work. Where are you going?
I'm subbing in Marsden.
Backwater detail. That's the worst.
I mean, I could do it.
Well, that'd be great. I mean, if that's okay with you. I know you have to work too.
Evie could help. It'd be fun.
We can talk more about babies.
Great.
Yeah.
Mrs. Del Bello, I'm going to talk to your husband at his work. You won't be present. Your name will not enter into it. I'm going to tell him that, yes. I understand. I've done this before, Mrs. Del Bello. Don't worry.
She embezzles thousands of dollars from the department and is reinstated after a 1-week suspension?
You're welcome, Mrs. Del Bello. No, you're very welcome.
Maxine, a moment of your time. I realize this is a bit awkward, but you know my philosophy of not letting things fester.
What is she doing here?
I'm sure we can all behave like professionals.
There are criminal charges pending.
Yes. And the investigation is ongoing, but it's going to take time. We can use her help till then.
Use her help for what exactly? Loot the coffee money fund?
What I would like to do is turn our energies toward those who need them. Children at risk.
And I'm sure we're all on the same page there.
Oh, the hell we are. She stole money from this department. I'm supposed to take orders from her?
I told you, Jim.
With regard to the ongoing investigation, Susie will have no access to the department's finances until this whole mess is resolved.
This is bizarre.
Maxine, we have jobs to do. Make it work.
I glanced at the log today, and I saw that you had a visit from an abused spouse. Will you be taking the children?
Given the husband's volatility, I think we should be a bit more delicate with this one. I'm still considering my approach to Mr. Del Bello.
Make no mistake about it, Maxine. I am in charge. And given what's happened between us, I'm just not inclined to give you the benefit of the doubt in any situation. I want those children protected. Get a judge to sign the OTC.
I can't get an OTC on a single uncorroborated allegation. I need to investigate. Otherwise, no judge worth her beans will sign it.
Then start investigating. You're good at that.
Small town America.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Nothing. It is small town America.
Might be a nice change for us. See, it's very picturesque.
Is that French for small? Where am I supposed to sit?
Judge Amy Gray. Hi, I'm Caitlin Barger. I'll be your court clerk during your stay.
Miss Barger.
Oh, please call me Caitlin. We don't stand too much on ceremony in Marston.
I'm Mr. Van Exel, Judge Gray's CSO.
Oh, we didn't expect you to bring your own person. I usually handle most everything.
Mr. Van Exel will need a place to sit.
Of course, Judge Gray. We'll see if we can't set you up in the style to which you're obviously accustomed.
Hey, that does not look like cop shop coffee.
That's much better for bribing cops, and that's swell.
You gonna bribe me right here in the hallowed halls of justice?
You want to drink that before it gets cold.
You wouldn't happen to be digging through dirt on unfair increases in speeding ticket fines, would you?
Deep Racker, highly placed source, anonymous insider.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's an urban myth. It's not gonna happen. Sorry.
I knew it was too good to be true. What the hell am I gonna write about now?
I don't know. But everybody's buzzing about how they're gonna drop charges against the guy who shot you.
Even the murder charges?
No. Secondary kidnapping and attempted murder. The suppression hearing's tomorrow.
Why?
Because Warren's gonna testify that you were unduly pressured into making the identification.
Me personally?
Huh. Hey, it's no shame in getting your ID tossed. Thanks for the job.
Louise? There's something crunchy in my sandwich.
No extra charge.
It's a grilled cheese sandwich.
I'll get you another.
No, no thanks. Just more coffee, please.
What do you think it was?
What?
In your sandwich. Mine's a grilled cheese, too.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's something innocuous. Lettuce or a toenail.
That's why I always pack my own lunch.
I eat here 3 times a week. I usually don't have a problem.
You live nearby?
Work nearby. At social services. What's your excuse?
I honestly don't have one. Except I was raised in the South. I spent a lot of time in diners.
Have you lived in Hartford long?
2 years. My business relocated down here from Dallas about 2 years ago.
How do you like it?
I don't know. It's growing on me.
Really?
Well, it's a little cold for my blood. My kids are spread out all over the South. Can't even get them to come up here and visit me. My wife was still alive. She never would have let me move.
You know, I have the opposite problem. I can't get my children to leave.
We always want what we don't have. What about your husband? Does he work nearby?
He passed away several years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anything else, sir?
Oh, yeah, here's my checklist, thanks. Oh, by the way, my name is Jared Duff.
Maxine Gray.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Oh, I don't believe it.
What's wrong?
I left my wallet at the office.
Oh, well, don't worry. Louise, this nice gentleman left his wallet at work. Now, you could start a tab for him, couldn't you?
We only do that for special customers.
I'm sure he is special.
We only do it for you.
Oh. Well, we'll put it on my tab.
Oh, no. No, I couldn't
Please.
let you do that.
I was looking for a good deed today.
Well, all right, if you let me reciprocate. Let me take you to dinner.
Oh, that's hardly a fair trade.
No, this was great. I eat far too many meals alone. How about LeSerre tonight?
LeSerre?
They know me there. I can kind of show off.
No, I really can't accept.
Maxine, go out with the man to dinner. He's clean, he's handsome. You owe yourself.
What time were you thinking about?
How about 8 o'clock?
All right. I'll meet you there.
Yeah. I look forward to it. Oh, yes, thank you.
If I wind up in a dumpster, it's your fault.
Something's wrong when people can just put your son on drugs without permission.
The state has custody and guardianship of your son.
Yes, because I'm an alcoholic. But I'm in treatment for that. I've made a lot of progress and I know I can get Ryan back. Ironically, I'll be clean and he'll be all doped up.
Ms. Kessler, you're Ryan's caseworker?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how was the decision to put Ryan Glinko on Ritalin made?
Janice was charged with drunk driving after a car accident that left 4 people hospitalized, including her son Ryan. Ryan was removed from his mother and placed in foster care. He was found to be chronically defiant of school rules, he was disruptive in class, and his test marks plummeted.
He was taken away and put with a foster family. Of course, his marks suffered.
DCF sent Ryan to a psychiatrist, and he was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. Ritalin is the usual treatment.
Your Honor, Ryan's foster family, the Borers, house 5 other foster children, 4 of whom are also on Ritalin.
Foster children are proven to have a high rate of ADD, right?
And is it a coincidence that they're all boys? And that all of them are under the care of Dr. Norman Golden?
Norman is the sole DCF-approved psychiatrist in this town.
All right, Mr. Begage, I'm intrigued. I'd like to chat with Dr. Golden. And in the meantime, I'd like an immediate evaluation of Ryan Glinko by an independent psychiatrist.
There isn't another psychiatrist in town.
There's a whole world outside of Marston, Mr. Novotny. Avail yourself of it.
Good lunch?
I got hit on.
By a panhandler?
By a man for a date. Are they still called dates?
Well, if you said yes, it's called a pickup.
Oh, no, I believe a pickup is when you go somewhere with someone to have sex.
You did not have sex on your lunch hour.
You know I'm famous for that. Oh, I don't believe it. Susie got a judge to sign an OTC on that possible spousal abuse.
Is it a case of imminent danger?
Only when I take the boys from the house. The father will go berserk. She didn't even tell me to my face, just left it on my desk.
I don't like that look.
Well, if I never got the order, then how can I execute it?
Maxine, that's insubordination.
Yes, it is. And I'll probably be disciplined for that. Let's see. For embezzlement, Susie got a week's suspension with pay. For misplacing an order carelessly left on my desk, they'll, what? Make me eat ice cream?
I'm afraid I don't keep statistics on either ADD cases or what percentage of my patients are on any particular medication.
Well, you don't need exact numbers, Dr. Golden.
I'm not going to guess in a court of law, Judge.
Doctor, you consult for Morris High School, don't you?
The school authorities refer patients to me, yes.
How many last year?
Approximately 60.
63. How many of those did you diagnose with ADD?
A fair number.
Does 46 sound about right?
Why don't we simply put Terry on the stand, Your Honor? Save us the bother of having the witness testify.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Novotny. If Dr. Golden will stop dragging his feet, then I will chastise Mr. Bogage.
How many of the 46 students you diagnosed with ADD are now on Ritalin?
All of them.
My God, it's an epidemic out there.
Your Honor, please.
I think we've made our point, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Bogage, I think you have. Ms. Kessler, how fast can I get the medical records of all the DCF children under Dr. Golden's care?
Oh, that's hard to say. I guess we could ask Caitlin. It's hard to say.
Well, you have until tomorrow morning. I'm also going to issue a subpoena for Dr. Golden's records.
Those children are my current patients, Judge. I need those records.
Well, if you get them to me by tonight, you'll have them back by tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned.
So, where are you planning to stay tonight?
Oops.
Oh, you want some cheap wine to go with the crappy Chinese food?
No, thanks.
You sure? It enhances the taste of the MSG. Wait, you don't like MSG?
My doctor says not to drink.
Doctors always say that. They don't expect anybody to listen.
Actually, alcohol doesn't mix with my medication.
Oh. Psychiatric medication.
Something in the Prozac family.
It's going to be a very large family. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't joke about that, should I?
No, you shouldn't.
I'm sorry.
I can't turn my mind off. I'm still having nightmares. Headaches, crying all the time.
Is the medication helping?
It takes a while for the drugs to take effect.
Hey, you want to try to time them so they kick in just as the band hits the stage. I'm sorry.
It's just that the trial's taking so long. Once it's over, I'm sure things will get better.
Maybe we should quit obsessing about the trial. So try to move on with our lives.
I think once they convict him, I'll feel a lot better. It's weird, isn't it? This is the guy who brought us together, and yet I'm hoping for the death penalty. That's a story for the grandkids.
They're staring at us.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's the racial thing?
I think it's small town America.
You don't like small town America, do you?
I think it's fine as long as it stays in small town.
You could have gone home.
Well, if you want the files tonight.
What?
They don't exactly have a formal record system. We'll have to dig through some back rooms.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's my job.
Cannot go out with this guy.
Recognize the pattern, Peter. You tell me I can't do something, then I do it.
Mother, you don't know him. What if he's one of these lurking scoundrels who takes advantage of senior citizens?
Maxine, you have a date? Yes, if you can watch Lauren for me.
No, absolutely not.
Peter, of course we will.
Mom, you're a perfect prey to one of these sorts of scams. Lonely with an income.
As you recall, Peter, you're furious at me for losing all my money on the stock market. You can't have it both ways. And why is it so hard for you to believe that I'm attractive to men?
You're my mother?
And I got that way by being attractive to men.
Well, look, at least give me his name so I can give something to the police when they call.
I don't know his name.
Oh, sweet mother of God. Hey, how are my girls?
So who'd you get
For what?
to babysit Rebecca?
My mother.
Oh, Mia.
Yes, Mia.
Oh, I didn't realize Mia was still in town. So is Mia staying at your place?
Driver, keep your hands on the wheel where I can see him.
He's just looking for his registration.
It's all right.
On the wheel, sir.
Evening. We're
License
actually...
and registration, please.
Does that mean he can take his hands off the steering wheel?
You weren't carrying any weapons, are you, sir?
No.
Any drugs or alcohol in the car?
No.
Mind if I take a look in your trunk?
No, I don't mind.
Well, I mind. What's your name?
Davidson.
Well, Officer Davidson, my name is Judge Gray.
Judge.
Yes, I'm in from Hartford. I'm a substitute for Judge Brinkman.
Stan Brinkman.
My court services officer, Mr. Van Exel, and I are here to adjudicate a case in your charming little town. And what I'd like to know is why you pulled us over.
It's all right, ma'am. You can drive on.
Thank you.
No, 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 no. It is not all right. I demand to know why you pulled Mr. Van Exel over.
He ran a stop sign.
No, he didn't.
I might have.
Look, I'm willing to give you a break here. Because you're a judge and you're doing us this big favor by swooping in from Hartford to dispense justice. Or we can do it the other way. I can arrest both of you because in this town, even a judge can't just run stop signs at will. So, which is it going to be, Judge?
I guess we'll say thank you and drive on.
You have a nice evening.
So this fella, he looked at my resume and he said, Vanderbilt? Oh, I hear that Vanderbilt is the Harvard of the South. I said, oh, really? I'd always heard that Harvard was the Vanderbilt of the North.
Here, I always thought that Harvard was the Oxford of the colonies.
Well, truth be told, I've never met a man from Harvard that wasn't full of wind.
My daughter graduated from Harvard.
Well, I was talking about the man.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, yeah. Where's Jean-Luc tonight?
In France for a week.
Ah, Stéphane?
His night off.
They usually know me here.
Dinner was lovely, Jared. And you've been such charming company. I don't really need a visit from the chef to be impressed.
Am I being that obvious?
I haven't been treated so solicitously since I was being wooed.
Well, you got me. My palms haven't stopped sweating since I met you.
Shall I take that as a compliment?
I wish you would. 29 years as a social worker, huh? Gosh, whew. Well, that's what they call God's work. I host some charities, but that's about as close as I ever get.
What kind of charities?
Oh, all kinds, mostly cancer research. My wife died of that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. She had a rough time. Yeah, just never seemed to lose hope, never seemed to lose her sense of humor, and just... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I don't usually talk about her that much.
No, I know how it is. I can't help but compare you to my Edward.
So how am I doing?
Well, I knew Edward longer. But I will say this, you have better hair. By which I mean you have hair.
That's a beginning. Here's the beginnings.
I'm sorry, sir. Your card has been declined.
No, it's not possible. Try again.
I already have, sir. Do you have any other cards?
Well, there's no limit on that card. Please try again.
There's an ATM next door.
I don't have an ATM card.
Do you have a checkbook?
Oh, people don't carry checkbooks around with them anymore.
I'm sorry, sir.
Look, I know Jean-Luc very well.
So you keep saying.
Jared, I can pay.
Oh, no, no, wait, now, this is not right. No, please, please, please. No, this is my evening, Maxine.
It can't be helped. I'll pay, and you can take me out another time.
Oh, but this is ridiculous. This... I don't know what to say. I mean, this is... humiliating.
Well, it's not the end of the world.
What are the odds of this happening?
Not very good.
Well, it pleases me on one level. This means that you have to see me one more time.
Why didn't you tell me?
Lisa, tell you what.
It's in your own damn newspaper. They're throwing out your identification. You must have known.
You've been a little upset lately. I didn't want to give you any more
Upset
bad
lately?
news.
This isn't a phase, Vincent. This is the most important thing in my life right now, and you lied to me about it.
I didn't lie to you.
Making a choice to keep it from me was a lie.
Lisa, sit down. Your identification will stand. This is a procedural misfire.
I don't care so much that your testimony was thrown out, but you didn't bother to tell me.
Sometimes, when people are under stress, they can lose perspective.
What does that mean? You think I'm crazy?
You want the guy to get the death penalty?
Vincent, he's a murderer. Maybe you'd rather be with someone who's less trouble.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Socrates?
Hey, I didn't hear you come in.
It's like the library in here. Where are the girls?
Everyone's upstairs entertaining Lauren. Evie and Jillian are competing for her attention.
Child has a tough life.
How's your dinner?
Fine. Except that you were right. And you know how it pains me to say that.
What happened?
He conveniently forgot his money again.
Oh, Mother. Give me his address.
Peter, forget about it. It's not a lot of money. My pride is hurt most of all. I can't believe I'm so naive. If wisdom doesn't come with age, then why bother getting old?
Sorry, Mom.
Me too. Okay, Socrates, you and me again.
Found the last box
Where was it?
in the basement in the baby Jesus' manger from the Christmas pageant. Enjoy your reading.
Bruce, back there with the cop, I think I crossed some kind of line.
Don't worry about it.
Because I knew it wasn't about running a stop sign, and I thought I had to say something.
Either way, it's my battle to fight.
I'm sorry.
I'm from DCF. Somebody paged me.
It was me, Maxine. First and foremost, they caught Eddie Del Bello red-handed. So obviously, I did the right thing.
Where's Alma?
Helping the children. I mean, no one will disagree that those boys had to be removed from the murderer's father.
You snatched the kids.
At least the boys are safe. Maxine, those boys are safe.
Get away from me.
I'm telling you.
Get away from me.
That's not right.
How can this not be right?
She likes the bananas arranged in a little smiley face.
Evie knows. Let Evie do it.
Evie should stay off her feet.
Oh, I don't mind.
I want Evie to do it.
Maxine, don't you feel well?
Had a late night. I'm giving myself the morning off.
Can you take me to school?
No. Evie needs to eat breakfast.
I can eat later.
Please.
Lauren, I told your mother I would take care of you, so I will. Evie will relax here and read the paper and eat something while I walk you to school.
But...
Please don't argue. Goodbye, everyone.
I know what that's about.
Really?
Jillian's afraid that if I spend any time with Lauren, then my maternal instincts will get all strong, and then I won't want to give up the baby.
What do you think?
I think it's gonna be hell when I give up my baby, so nothing can make it any better or worse.
According to these records, you are the principal of a school where 10% of the students are on Ritalin.
Judge, it's not my job to question diagnoses.
No, but you are responsible for pointing out problem children, almost all of whom are boys.
My first priority is to create a suitable learning environment.
An environment which is maintained by widespread doping.
Your Honor, are you accusing the school, the psychiatrist, the Department of Children and Families, or the entire medical community?
What is it with you people? Is no one besides me concerned about this pattern?
I am concerned for my son, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Cavallo. All right, let's talk about Ryan Glinko. An independent psychiatrist examined Ryan Glinko and found no evidence of ADD. I quote, "The administration of Ritalin is excessive and unwarranted. Therefore, I am ordering that Ryan Glinko be reunited with his mother."
Your Honor, Janice is only halfway through her court-ordered rehabilitation program.
And by all accounts, she's doing very well. You'll have to look after the situation, Miss Kessler. And frankly, unless Miss Glinko forces her son to drink with her, I can't see that she can do a much worse job than DCF. This seems like a nice town filled with nice people, but there is a kind of intolerance here, which leads to people feeling ostracized because they are different, or to boys being drugged because they are boisterous. So, I am ordering a transcript of these proceedings to be sent to the State Psychiatric Licensing Board, also the School Board, the Commissioner of DCF, and the State Attorney General. Have I left anybody unscathed? Because I'm in a fairly scathing mood. Good. Court is adjourned. Shall we get the hell out of Dodge, Mr. Van Exel?
Judge Gray, about last night.
I know. I was out of line.
No, I was. It's hard to be humiliated in front of somebody you respect.
The respect is mutual.
Maxine, I was just about to pay you a visit.
Oh, I'll save you the trouble. This is my resignation.
I'm sorry, I can't accept that.
I'm pretty sure I'm not giving you a choice.
I heard about the tragic death that came about.
Death that came about? That's nicely said, Jim. Susie Dixon is as responsible for Alma Del Bello's death as the man who pulled the trigger.
Now, hold on.
Look, this job can break your heart in 1,000 ways that I can't control. But for someone's political agenda, that I can control.
Susie was wrong. You were right.
Tell that to those children with a dead mother.
Maxine, I tried to settle this dispute quietly, in-house, with minimum disruption. Susie promised to cooperate.
Why did you need her at all?
I don't have anyone else to run the department right now, do I?
No, you don't.
Then you understand my position.
Do you mean you're still going to keep her on?
My hands are tied.
You're blackmailing me.
Whatever it takes, Maxine.
How long are we talking about?
You'll have to do it on a temporary basis.
What happens to Miss Dixon?
We'll put her behind a desk, cross-checking medical records till the investigation is over.
Damn you.
Is that a yes?
Hey, we could be one of those couples that solves every dispute by having wild monkey sex.
God, I hope so.
Oh, man. I gotta be at the highway department meeting at 6.
You and your glamorous lifestyle.
Hey. Those exit ramps are deteriorating. Somebody has to speak out.
Well, far be it from me to interfere with interstate travel.
Wait, if there's something wrong in society, my job is to right it.
Look, don't overreact.
Why do you have a gun?
The guy is probably gonna get off.
What are you gonna do? You gonna shoot him?
I'm scared, all right? All the time. Every day.
The guy's up on a murder charge. He's not gonna get off.
You don't know what it's like.
I don't. Excuse me. I seem to recall that I was the one who got shot.
Well, maybe I need more of a sense of control over my life than you do.
What does that mean?
The report said you had to be persuaded. What, you were afraid to identify him? Vincent, this guy tried to kill us both, and you wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You're not afraid of him. You're angry at me. I told you I'm not a hero.
Don't have to keep proving it.
The house is quiet. Where is everyone?
Jillian and Evie took Lauren out for ice cream.
I'll get it. What the hell are you doing here?
Well, I'm sorry to stop by like this, but you won't return my phone calls.
How did you get my address?
I have contacts.
You're stalking me.
Maxine, this is all a big misunderstanding.
I'll say it is. I don't want to see you. I don't want your flowers. I don't want to be subjected to any more of your scams.
You have got me all wrong.
This might come as a surprise to you, but I am not a desperate old widow willing to be taken advantage of. I have a full life, and I don't want people like you in it.
Mr. Duff? Hello?
You know him?
Well, not personally.
Excuse me a moment.
Mother, that's Jared Duff. Forbes 500, Jared Duff. 100 most powerful CEOs, Jared Duff. Titan of finance, Jared Duff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Mom, you go right out there and make up with him.
Why didn't you just tell me?
I couldn't find a graceful way.
Well, this is all quite embarrassing.
Maxine, I just want to take you to dinner.
I'm not very good at this kind of thing.
Oh, so I am? Look, I've been alone for 3 years. My wife's things are still in her closet. I'm not the kind of person that moves fast. I haven't wanted to ask a woman to dinner in a long time. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you get away and pay the check.
Your nose itches, right?
You're back. Oh, you look terrific.
Thanks, I feel terrific. Are you back for good? Well, I'm done with chemo. Last checkup was great. Gave the wig to my niece. Last time I saw it was on a Rottweiler.
You look wonderful. Really, your color's good, your eyes are bright. You look perky.
Oh, please!
No, good. Good perky. Intelligent, complicated perky.
Uh-huh. Really?
God, I didn't expect you to look this good for months.
Neither did I.
You're amazing.
No, I'm not. No, really, I'm not. The reason I'm doing so well has nothing to do with me. I discovered a secret cure.
For cancer?
For anything.
What?
God. Oh, I met a guy.
Oh, really?
Well, sort of. A virtual guy. He's from my online support group. We swapped vomit stories. It was very romantic.
Does he live nearby?
Yeah, in Westchester. He's an architect. He's 3 years divorced. Trying to figure out a tactful way to ask him what his prognosis is.
Hey, Greta, what you said before. Do you think God cured your cancer?
No. Surgery and chemotherapy cured my cancer. God may have helped, but that's not what I was talking about. I met this rabbi. He was at the hospital. He was working the cancer floor, and we struck up a conversation. I told him all the problems I have with the concept of God. He had some answers I had never heard before.
Is the end of this story that you're converting?
Maybe.
Really?
I don't We met a couple of times. We talked for hours. We decided to keep meeting. Now, I don't know if I'm going to convert. I just know that he makes it make sense.
Does he happen to be a cute rabbi?
Well, he's 68 years old, looks like a cross between Albert Einstein and a koala bear. Why is it so hard for you to believe that I had a religious experience?
Because we have always been cynical agnostics together.
Well, a life-threatening illness can play havoc with your cynicism.
You think I'm crazy? No, I'm happy for you.
Me too. For the first time, I'm convinced that there's a plan and I'm a part of it. No matter what happens in the future, everything's gonna be okay. I'm going to be okay.
I'm sure you've all heard that I'm now your acting supervisor, and no doubt you're all just as thrilled about it as I am. Or at least polite enough to fake it.
This is temporary, right?
We can all hope. Meanwhile, I've divided the cases so you all have an equally impossible workload. Kimberly, you get the ones I no longer have time for. Congratulations.
Why me?
Well, it was either you or Robert, and you generally have a shorter wine cycle. Put this one in your today pile. That's the McElroy case. The new Mrs. McElroy is complaining about how the former Mrs. McElroy is handling the McElroy children. The children live with their mother, but the stepmother claims that they are frequently unsupervised and generally neglected.
Since when is it DCF's job to get into petty marital disputes?
It isn't. It's DCF's job to investigate claims of neglected children. The woman has taken the trouble to drive over here 3 times. I think it's worth an afternoon of our time.
Meaning my time.
When you start doing this job, Kimberly, out of the goodness of your heart, for free, then it will be your time. But as long as you're cashing our checks, it will be our time. Anything else? Need clarifying. Good? Let's go to work.
All right. All parties are present.
In the matter of Victor Laughlin and Alan Higgins, the defendants are both juveniles. The charge is conspiracy to commit sexual assault in the 2nd degree and possession of a Schedule IV controlled substance. Question before me is possible transfer to adult court where the maximum sentence is 20 years.
20 years? Murderers don't even get 20 years.
Excuse me, you are?
Mimi Higgins, Alan's mother.
Well, Mrs. Higgins, I will let you know when it's your turn to speak. Counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendants were both caught in possession of Rohypnol, street name Roofies, widely known as the date rape drug. The arrest took place at a party after the homeowners received a tip from their daughter, who overheard Mr. Laughlin bragging to a third party of his intention to slip the drug into the soda can of an unidentified female. The homeowners called the police, who found 3 tablets in a Ziploc bag in Mr. Laughlin's jeans pocket and 2 tablets loose in Mr. Higgins' shirt pocket. Now, given the gravity of the crime that was just barely prevented, the state asked the court to deny bail and that the defendants be charged as adults and transferred to the criminal docket.
Your Honor, this is a simple case of alarmist hoopla and parents who spent too much time watching Jerry Springer. My juvenile clients concede to possession, but the charge that they intended to rape someone is from the moon.
Your Honor, Roofies, as I stated, is well known as the date rape drug. It doesn't have any other purpose. You don't take it for a headache. That's why it's illegal.
Your Honor, the prosecutor is trying to make it sound like simple possession of the drug is the same thing as hiding behind a bush waiting to grab a jogger.
No, actually, it's much worse. The jogger has a chance to defend himself.
Charging my clients with attempted rape because they had some pills in their pocket is like charging someone with attempted murder because they have a gun.
Okay. There are several issues to determine here, and I need some time. I'm going to return the defendants to detention.
These are not criminals. These are good boys.
Those facts are yet to be determined. And we will be discussing them...
Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock.
Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Next case.
Lisa.
I went to your office. They said you were here.
Yeah.
You look so like a reporter.
I look obnoxious and unprincipled.
Intense.
Oh, well, that's pained. They're hard to distinguish.
You haven't called.
Yeah, I know. We needed a break. I needed a break.
When were you planning on telling me?
I'm sorry. You were making me nervous. Something about getting shot has made me skittish around guns.
I got rid of the gun.
Good.
I just thought you'd want to know the trial starts tomorrow.
You want me to go with you?
You do whatever you think is right.
Oh, no.
Well, that's not quite the reaction I was hoping for.
Dinner. I can't. This is my first day as supervisor, and I'm so good at delegating that I'll only be here until midnight.
I don't think they can hold our reservation that long.
I'm sorry. I should have called you. Frankly, I forgot you existed.
A temporary condition, I hope.
It is. When I get home tonight, I'm going to read Department Supervising for Idiots, and by this time tomorrow, my staff will be working late, and I'll be waltzing out of here at 6.
Well, you know, there's really only one thing you have to know to be a good boss.
The number of a good psychiatrist?
Well, my father told me this when I had my first big promotion. He said, you know, every person who walks into your office is going to have a monkey. And what they want to do is leave that monkey on your desk. Well, don't let them. Make them leave with the monkey and give them another monkey to take along with them. And what you've got here is a whole pile of monkeys.
Which explains my urge to take these and throw them in the dumpster behind the Humane Society. What about tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night? Oh, I don't think there's anything that takes precedence for tomorrow night, except this board meeting.
Well, when is the next time you're free?
Tomorrow night. I'll cancel the board meeting.
You can't do that. What will you tell your board?
I'll tell them the truth. Something more important came up.
More than you ever wanted to know about roofies. Shall I come back when you're in?
My friend Greta has found God.
I didn't know he was missing. Look, it's not like Judge Anastasio was the first cancer patient to get religion.
I know, but Greta, she's one of the most intelligent, rational people I've ever met. What?
Oh, nothing. I love being called ignorant and irrational.
You mean you?
Where do you think I go when I race out of here every Wednesday?
Night school.
That's Tuesday, Thursday. Wednesday nights I go to Mass.
Mass? As in,
Catholic, all my life. Even 12 years of parochial school.
like with nuns?
Worse, Jesuits.
You mean communion and first confession and altar boy?
All of the above.
Altar boy?
What's so funny?
I just can't see it.
Yes, you can. That's why you're laughing. Okay, what about you?
Yeah. When I was young, we were your basic submarine Protestants. We'd surface every Easter and Christmas. I don't even know why we stopped.
Your parents didn't say?
Not that I remember. Your folks must have been pretty devout.
They wanted me to be a priest. I was all for it until I learned the definition of celibacy.
You mean Jesus and Mary and saints and angels and oh, little town of Bethlehem. You buy all that.
I buy all of that.
How?
Well, it's not something I can explain in 4 minutes, but you're welcome to come with me sometime.
Thanks, but I don't think so.
It's just an offer.
I checked out the McElroy case. It was nothing, just like I thought.
Hang on a second. Define nothing.
The former wife is an attorney trying to make partner with her firm. The new wife is a flake.
A professional flake?
She considers herself an artist.
What's the IRS consider her?
A wire bender.
She bends wire?
It's a form of jewelry making.
I see. And what does any of this have to do with how the children are being treated?
This is obviously a case of professional jealousy.
The lawyer wishes she could be a wirebender?
You know what I mean. The wirebender doesn't understand or doesn't want to understand that the attorney can't be home every night at 5 o'clock to make the kids a home-cooked meal.
And what time does the attorney get home?
She occasionally has to work till 9 or 10, but the kids, both teenagers, know how to arm the security system, and the grandparents live a block away. The kids say they're fine. Mr. McElroy says they're fine. No one seems to have a problem here except for the wirebender.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Well, okay. I guess that's that.
Before this attacker spoke to you, where was he?
Behind me.
So you hadn't gotten a look at him?
Yes, I did. I'd glanced over my shoulder because I was worried he was following me.
What, a quick glance?
Yes. No, I mean, I saw him.
And when was the next time you got a look at him?
When he started talking to me. I stopped and I turned around again. And that's when he started moving in on me and he started putting his hands on my shoulders.
So the first time was just a quick glance. And the second time you were in a state of panic, correct?
No.
Well, that's what you just told us.
You're making it sound like I didn't get a good look at him, and I did.
Well, when did you get a long, non-panicked look at him?
I'd also seen him in the store.
In the store?
In the produce section. He asked me where the green onions were.
This man? Your alleged attacker?
Yes. He asked me if I could show him, and I got away from him because I didn't like the way he was looking at me.
There's no mention of any of that in the police report.
Well, they only asked me what happened in the parking lot.
And you didn't think it was important to tell them about the incident in the store?
I didn't know anyone was going to accuse me of not knowing what the guy looked like.
All right, it's true that we had thought about putting roofies in some girl's drink, but we weren't gonna rape anybody.
So what was your plan exactly?
We didn't have a plan.
Well, you had a plan to slip the drug into, quote, some girl's drink.
Yeah?
Why?
Just wanted to see what would happen.
You just wanted to see what would happen?
Yeah.
What would happen, Your Honor, is that within 30 minutes, the victim would become weak, disoriented, she would lose motor control, possibly lose consciousness.
Your Honor, Mr. Stryker has no medical degree that I'm aware of.
And since the drug has an amnesia effect, she wouldn't recall what happened to her when she recovered. And they knew damn well that's what would happen.
Your Honor, no one here claims it was an intelligent thing to do. But there's a big difference between a stupid prank and criminal premeditation.
Your Honor, these are good boys from good families. They're both excellent students, top athletes, church-going, civic-minded.
I get the drift, Mrs. Higgins. What I don't understand is why these two model citizens had pockets full of a drug that is best known for disabling potential rape victims.
We told you.
You just wanted to see what would happen.
It was like a science project.
A science project using a non-consenting human guinea pig.
We didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hi. I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, I was lurking in the shadows.
That wasn't my idea of a fun morning.
You didn't tell me that you saw him in the store.
I didn't?
When did you tell it to the cops?
Didn't seem important. He wasn't exactly thinking clearly at the time.
Was he following you in the store, or you just saw him once?
Why are you grilling me? I got enough of this on the witness stand.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad I triumphed over the monkeys tonight.
They've all gone off with their new keepers.
So how do you feel about Sunny Italy?
As opposed to Rainy Italy?
It's a restaurant.
The one with a $150 a plate tasting menu?
Have you noticed such trivia?
How much is it if you actually want to eat?
What do I have to do?
Mrs. McElroy, I sent a caseworker out today. She took a look at it. She said she didn't feel there was a problem.
Well, she is an idiot. Or maybe we just have a different definition of problem. These kids know the number of every pizza place in town by memory, but they can't tell you the last time their mother was home for dinner. Is that a problem? She calls us at 11 o'clock at night asking us where the kids are. Is that a problem?
Why would your husband, his ex-wife, and the children all tell my caseworker that everything is fine?
Well, she says it's fine because she likes the status quo. He says it's fine because he's afraid the kids will hate him forever if he takes them away from their mother. And do you really know a teenager who's actually just going to volunteer the information who's not being supervised? Meanwhile, has your caseworker talked to anyone outside of this dysfunctional family?
Mrs. McElroy, please have a seat. Obviously, we need to talk. This may take a while.
Well, looks like the monkeys win again.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I know how it goes. Yeah. I just want you to know that I don't discourage easily.
Tomorrow, 7 custody hearings, 2 possession of controlled substance, 2 assaults, 1 each concealed weapon, and attempted murder. No comic relief that I can see, but you get a break in the afternoon.
Judge Gray! Yes, Donna?
I just want to make sure this didn't get lost on your desk there.
Call Leisha. Oh, great.
Leisha?
Yeah, she's my ex-husband's girlfriend. Trophy wife Barbie.
Sounded nice on the phone.
Yeah, well, she's good at sounding nice.
Well, she wants to meet for coffee tomorrow afternoon. She's very troubled about your last encounter, and she wants to make peace.
How kind of her to share that with you.
What happened at the last encounter?
I'm not sure, but I don't think the female gender came out looking very good. Call her back and tell her that Judge Gray's very sorry, but she's booked solid for the rest of her life.
I kind of told you at a late afternoon tomorrow.
Well, call her back and tell her you're mistaken.
I kind of said you'd meet her at 1 o'clock at the coffee place near the mall, the cafe something.
Why did you do that?
My judgment was impaired by visions of harmony?
I would love to see how this turns out, but I have to go.
To Mass?
Night school. Mass is Wednesday.
Have fun.
Fun is Friday.
She sounded genuinely distressed, Judge Gray.
Sure, she'll get over it.
And she said Lauren was really upset about it, too.
She told Lauren?
Well, just that you had words, not that you were a bitch.
She said that?
She may have said which. She was on a cell phone.
Hi. Am I interrupting anything?
No, come in.
Do you want me to call her and cancel?
We obviously need to have another talk.
Great.
Donna...
I'll never do it again. I swear, I am monumentally sorry, truly, from the depths.
Okay.
Look, I don't have much time. I just wanted to give you something.
What is it?
Take it out.
Oh, okay, I give up.
It's a mezuzah. You put it on a doorpost, at an angle, pointing in like this. It has a little scroll inside with handwritten scripture verses.
Well, if it wards off evil, it found the right home.
I just like to think of it as a little reminder of God's presence. It's just you're supposed to kiss your fingers and touch it whenever you enter or leave.
Yeah, I don't really see me doing that.
Look, it will not hurt my feelings at all if you don't want to put it up. I just wanted to give it to you.
Well, thanks. It's very thoughtful.
Are you sure this isn't freaking you out?
About the God thing?
Yeah.
Of course not.
See you tomorrow?
Okay.
Black coffee. I'd like a half-cap easy vanilla double latte with 2% milk and just the thinnest veneer foam.
All right, thanks.
I really appreciate your meeting me here. I'm sure you would agree that we couldn't leave things like they were.
Leisha, before you say whatever it is you want to say, I'd like to know why you felt the need to tell Lauren about our last meeting.
You're upset about that?
Lauren's been through enough, and what goes on between us is it's not a child's business.
I thought I was doing the right thing, being honest with her.
Well, sure, when it's appropriate, but...
Just keep messing up. Look, I'm really trying so hard. I bought 7 books on step parenting and I read them all. I highlighted things.
And I appreciate that.
I just really want so much to make a good impression on you.
And you're doing a fine job. It's just
I don't know anything about being a mother. So, God, all I can do is try and fail.
Alicia, I'm very sorry.
And I think I actually asked you here because I thought maybe we could be friends.
Friends. We could be friends.
You're just saying that.
No, I'm not. We could do things.
When?
Now.
What could we do now?
Just coffee and shopping.
Shopping? That'd be great. I need a new bathing suit.
Shopping for bathing suits is always fun.
Yeah. Well, Michael and I are going to the Bahamas. So. Oh, what a great idea. Oh, I feel better already.
McElroy, Neal, and Scott. If either of them missed another day of school, I was going to call DCF anyway. This is a list of this semester's detention. Truancy, incomplete homework assignment, smart-mouthing the teacher, disrupting class, hall loitering. Evidently, they heard it was smart to diversify. They have any medical problems? The absences, you mean? They both suffer from a mysterious chronic digestive disorder. I believe the term is called ditch school-itis. It's really a shame. They're both bright kids. Well, you'd never know it from their grades. Isn't the mother at all concerned? The mother is concerned that she has heavy competition for partner of her law firm. Period.
It's awful quiet over there.
I don't get these gauze things. No matter how I tie it, it looks stupid. And it doesn't cover anything.
It's not supposed to cover. It's just supposed to look sexy.
It looks like I don't have a place to put my handkerchief.
Michael loves them. He walks behind me when I have mine on. Oh, he's such a butt man. Well, like I need to tell you. And whenever we're shopping, he always insists we take the stairs instead of the elevator so he can follow and watch me walk up them. I'm sure he did that with you, too.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have the tiny one on?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, cute. Let me just, it's okay. I should give you the name of my waxer. After he grabbed me, he put a gun to my head, and he made me unlock the car, and he pushed me into it. He started the car, but a guy in the parking lot saw what happened and yelled for him to stop.
And what happened then?
He shot the guy.
Through the window?
No, he got out.
I see. And then what happened?
The guy grabbed my purse and ran away.
Ms. Matthews, if your alleged attacker only wanted your purse, why did he push you into the car? And if he wanted the car, why did he get back out to shoot that guy in the parking lot?
Objection.
And why did he shoot that guy instead of you when you were the one who was in a much better position to identify him?
Objection.
Sustained.
Is it that you were unable to invent a cohesive story, or is it that your memory is...
Mr. Tate.
...completely unreliable?
Mr. Tate.
Wait, so she weeps and tells you a sob story, and your response is to say, hey, let's go shopping for bathing suits. It scares me that you're a judge.
It wasn't a total disaster, thank you. I got the inside scoop on astonishing new facts in the field of hydroxyacid wrinkle creams.
Ooh, I hope you're going to share.
No, I'm sworn to secrecy, and I wish I were kidding. Well, what is the proper way to deal with your ex-husband's girlfriend? Divorce should come with a handbook.
Oh, God, everything should come with a handbook. Life is an endless series of opportunities to make a fool out of yourself.
Well, if somebody's keeping score, then I should be moving into the bonus round.
All right, you should call her and thank her for a swell time.
And then before you hang up the phone, you tell her that Michael follows her upstairs because he has a thing for cellulite.
All right. I admit it. I lied. I thought you were going to wig out on me with this God business. But if you can still enjoy a good recreational round of character assassination.
And I am still very good at it.
This I can live with.
Don't worry. I am still me. And listen, next time you get an impetuous urge to do something thoroughly stupid, call me first and I will talk you out of it.
You know he never put you in the car.
They were making it sound like it happened fast, and I didn't see him.
Not an
He was
excuse
going
to perjure
walk.
yourself. If you walked now, it's going to be your fault.
My fault. You know, I wouldn't have had to lie if they hadn't thrown out your testimony. I don't even know why I'm surprised. You have never supported me.
What? That's insane.
Oh, it's just a coincidence you stopped calling me a week before the trial. Can we do this somewhere else?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I want to do this at all. This doesn't work.
This meaning us.
Yeah.
You're upset enough to break up with me because I altered my story to try to put the creep who shot you in
This
jail?
is a pattern. First, you brought a gun to my apartment.
Oh, it's still about the gun?
No, you're not listening to me. I've got to be around people who I can count on to tell me the truth.
I wouldn't lie to you.
If you'd lie on the witness stand under oath, I'd have to be an idiot to think you'd be honest with me. Look, it's more than that. This has never been right. The biggest thing we have in common is a mutual horror story.
It couldn't possibly be that you're just running away again.
And the grand finale, ruling on the Roofies case.
All right. You said we weren't going to have fun this afternoon.
Don't forget, I'm leaving right after court.
School or church?
Church. It's Wednesday. Would you like me to make you a chart?
Mm-hmm. A felt board calendar with a little church and a little school building.
Invitation still stands.
No, thanks. Michael's got Lauren and Mom's working late, so I got the nice, quiet house to myself. Besides, I am not taking you up on your offer until you can explain to me why you go.
You might have a long wait.
Good afternoon. This arrangement isn't working. The children aren't being taken care of.
This is about my working late, isn't it?
It's about a lot of things. But while we're on the subject, how many nights a week do you make it home by 7 o'clock?
I'm not sure.
That's because there aren't any.
I have to work. It's not like I have a choice. His so-called child support checks don't even pay for their tennis shoes.
Do you have to work until 10 o'clock every night?
I do for the moment. I'm trying to make
partner. Yes, we all know about that. I have nothing against working mothers. My daughter is one. I've been one most of my life. But your career is not a license to ignore the obligation you have to your children. Mr. McElroy, have you ever thought about seeking custody of the children?
Oh, God, you can't do that to me.
I don't want to take them out of their home, away from their school, their friends.
We're not trying to take these children away from their mother. We just want her to be one.
Mrs. McElroy, if you want to keep the children, you'll start taking care of them. Make sure they're fed and supervised. On nights when you can't, you'll arrange a sitter to be with them until you get home. Kimberly here will be calling the school to make sure that there are no more mysterious stomach ailments, and she'll be calling you at random. When she does, you'll know where your children are, what they had for dinner the night before, and I'd better like the answer.
You can't be serious.
Oh, you have no idea how serious I am. If I find that you are continuing to neglect the children, I'll file a neglect petition. Then I'll call your boss and tell him that I am investigating a complaint of child neglect against you. I imagine that won't help your chances to make partner now, will it?
The issue here is intent. Did the defendants concoct a plan to slip roofies into the drink of an unsuspecting female, then sexually assault her? Or did they, as Mr. Laughlin stated, just want to see what would happen? I don't buy the defense's gun analogy. A person with a gun could have it because of protection, or for target practice, or because it's a collector's item. But the FDA has declared that this drug has no redeeming medical value. So even owning it is illegal. Your just wanted to see what would happen tells me that the two of you have a possibly sociopathic disregard for the consequences of your actions. Do you have any idea the devastating effect of this drug? Women who are raped while under its influence take twice as long to recover as other rape victims because they cannot consciously recall the event. It's not the education of women that's going to change the problem of rape. It's the education of young men. And you are doing a terrible job. You have raised two sons who think that the idea of drugging and raping a woman is good for a few laughs at a party. And then you tell me what fine boys they are. I don't know which fact is scarier. Well, I see no reason why I shouldn't transfer this case to the criminal docket and have the defendants tried as adults, where they could serve the maximum sentence of 20 years if convicted.
You can't do that! They have not done
Quiet. I said I see no reason why I shouldn't do that. But I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is this. In exchange for a plea on the possession charge, provided this is amenable to the prosecutor, I'll commit the defendants to DCF with the recommendation that they are placed in Long Lane for 3 years. Sorry, boys. I just wanted to see what would happen.
When you interview someone who's a textbook narcissist, the first thing you wonder is if they're lying to make themselves look good, since that's what narcissists do. Then, if everyone else is backing up the narcissist, you say to yourself, something is screwy here, and you start checking outside sources.
The woman didn't exactly have a sign on her forehead that said narcissist.
Yes, actually, she did. You listen, and you notice that you're hearing words like I, me, and my a lot, and you're not hearing anything about the good of the children. You notice $20,000 worth of furniture in the living room, while the family room doesn't have a sofa, and the kids are sleeping on beds from particle boards R Us.
I'm supposed to notice interior decorating?
And anything else that will tell you the full story.
Maxine.
Just what you don't do is go looking for evidence to support the conclusion you came to before you left the building. Robert?
Your limo is out front.
My what?
Greetings, and welcome to the inner sanctum. Well, it's not home, but it's much.
It's, this is all your, office?
In my office, yeah. The powder room is through that door, and the kitchen's at the end of the hall.
What's cooking?
Well, that'd be roast duckling with Grand Marnier sauce, or green peppercorn sauce if you prefer.
Did I miss the conversation where we decided to do this?
Oh, yeah, well, see, I couldn't get away tonight because I'm expecting a conference call. But I really wanted to have dinner with you. So I kidnapped you. At some point, you're going to lose me for about a half hour. But there's a screening room and a library next to the dining room, so hopefully you can find something you like.
Remind me when I get home tonight to invent a search engine.
Don't waste your time. We don't need his and hers millions. But speaking of work, I think we should have a toast to your new job.
Let's not. Let's wait until tomorrow night and have a toast to my resignation.
You're resigning as supervisor? Why?
Because I hate it. And that makes me horrible at it.
Oh, I'm sure if you just gave yourself more time.
The last time I did this job, it was a different world. I could run the office and handle everything in the field. But it's not possible anymore. Besides, I'd never get to see people.
People?
You?
I was wondering when I might figure into this.
When I'm nervous about starting something new, I tend to get very busy. It's a habit I'd like to break.
Judge Gray?
Can we wait till tomorrow, Donna?
No, it can't.
What's wrong?
Judge Gray, I am unbelievably sorry to tell you this, but
Just tell me, Donna.
Greta, I mean, Judge Anastasio is dead.
What?
They think it was a heart attack. There's going to be an autopsy. You know, chemotherapy is very hard on the organs. She's not up there. They just took her out. The coroner's office. I saw them. Would you like me to drive you home?
No.
I could call a cab.
No.
I didn't want you to overhear it in the hallway.
Thank you.
Judge Gray, are you sure you should be?
Ma? Mom? Mom?
Hi, you can leave a message for Vincent or Donna when you hear the beep.
What's wrong?
Greta died. A heart attack, they think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no one was at my house, and I knew you were here, so.
I know you two are very close.
I just... Why do you do this? Can you give me one short answer?
Well, there isn't any short answer. Wednesday night's just a fraction of it. It's how I get through the week.
But you believe in him.
I figure I have three choices of what to believe. A, there's no God. B, there's a callous God who doesn't care that horrible things happen to people. Or C, there's a benevolent God who's beyond my understanding, and I have to give the benefit of the doubt when he looks bad.
And what makes you choose C?
The look on my daughter's face when I tuck her in at night. That's a short answer. Would you like to come inside? Would you rather be alone?
Still restless, still waiting, still the spirit flies. It's love that never dies.